This is the Beatdown with Friends live from Dapper Barber Parlor. Dom ran out. He heard it when we were going to start up. We got Micah from CageMinds.com, the #1 site for combat sports news and sports entertainment.
Back from UFC 300. How are you guys? Dude, it was a lot of fun. There's nothing like being, on the 5th floor looking down, watching that chaotic last 10 seconds from Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, and losing your mind. It was incredible.
What did you think of him pointing to the ground like that, knowing that he's already won the fight? And I was like, oh no, like you're gonna get knocked out. I thought it was gonna go the other way. I really did at first.
I really thought Justin Gaethje was going to win the fight. I really did.
Turning point to you?
When we got in there and we saw the speed difference, it was so staggering that Gaethje was unable to keep Max in the pocket, unable to touch him, and not to mention just the way that Max toughed through the leg kicks.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting, and Robert Dom was talking right before we came on. He was saying it sets up Max versus McGregor 2.
Well, I didn't even get to answer that first thing you asked me. So that last 10 seconds, when Gaethje does that rolling kick and BS's away at about second 12, I'm like, oh, it's over. I'm putting some last touches on my article. Michael Carlisle, who's not here with us right now, I think he's on the way, elbows me because he's next to me. Look up, fool. I look up, and there it is, and it's right there. They're swinging. So I missed the finger point down, but I look up in time to see them swinging, meeting in the middle, and to see the knockout, and you're like, no way, he was winning. Why would he do that? It's the most insane BMF thing.
1 second.
Putting it all on the line like that 1 second and exchanging with a guy with that much power. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was exactly what a BMF champion does, correct?
Exactly. And funny enough, I was just mentioning my Carlisle. Here he walks in.
Walks in. How you doing, sir?
I am well.
He's wearing that Duke stuff again.
Just for you.
Thank you. Go Tar Heels. Don't be over there. Eat your chips. Whitney over here for Dukies. Duquesnes.
So we were just on the topic of how crazy being at UFC 300 was.
Oh, it was nuts.
Right?
It was a wild event for you guys. It looked great on TV. And so I could only imagine what you guys felt in the arena. I saw the pictures you guys sent over or put up. You guys had the best seat in the house, to be honest with you. Kind of looking down almost.
Right.
How did you guys get those seats?
That is where the hockey media section is, and that's where the UFC puts 80% of the media.
About 90%. Yeah, there are only about 15 media seats on the floor at T-Mobile. So everybody else that they put up there.
But was that as good of a seat as it looked to us here?
Oh yeah, no.
Everything.
It's a really good, stupid, ridiculous view. You've never known how great it is to look down on a
right
fight.
at the top of the cage instead of trying to look through it. Yeah.
That's what it looked like to us, and we were like, wow, he's kind of got some better seat than anybody. Because you know how the cage goes, it lifts up. People think that first row is the best row, and I try to tell people, I'm like, it really isn't that great, guys. Like, you're gonna be right here. You're probably gonna get blood on you, spit on you. Something, and you're not going to see all that action. Where you guys were, to me, it looked like, I was like, wow, they got the best seat in the house.
Oh, yeah, no, it's great what they do for the media, where they put them. You just imagine that for how it's a hockey setup, theoretically, so you're getting that same, you see every angle of the game, because no matter where you are in that section, it feels like you're almost in the middle of the octagon, basically. So it's just a great view, a great setup, and like Carlisle said, there's only a small room on the floor there in the T-Mobile Arena. They really maximize, and I think they found a way to squinch even more people in there for that event.
There's not a lot of wasted space on the floor. They obviously charge a premium for those tickets. So most everything on the floor is seating, and just enough room for about 15 media members, and everybody else goes upstairs.
Interesting. And so your take, since you had to nudge Micah to tell him it's not over, watch, he's pointing, your take on the greatness of that.
I thought, look, whenever you start off an event with Davison Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt, and that's your opening early prelim fight, you know you're in for a good card. And I don't think there was a single match on that card that didn't deliver.
No, there was a freak out factor to every fight, basically.
So, as you're saying freak out, you guys already knew what I was going to ask, because I got hammered by people. Everybody kept telling me, oh, you're hating on Holly. Because I said she's getting fed before that event. Everybody keeps telling me, oh, you're hating on her. What in the world was their game plan going into that? If that was really her game plan to grab Kayla Harrison and try and grapple with her or take her down, I'm like, wow.
Here's my problem with all that. And Holly said, post-fight, she put out a video and talked about their game plan, all this. She followed none of it. Sometimes things happen. I get that. And Kayla Harrison's out there trying to do everything she can to keep Holly from following her game plan to do her thing. That's not the first time we've heard Holly talk about not following the game plan. It's happened a lot in her UFC career. Going back to her one and only title defense, where all she had to do was survive round 5 against Miesha Tate, and she decided she was going to try to finish her, and Miesha put her to sleep. It's happened a lot, and that's a problem.
I talked to people in the camp. The game plan is what we all expected it. Use your boxing. If you're going to try to attack with the kick, go with that low-angled kick. Try to get at the knees. Use your distance. None of anything that Holly did. She literally froze under pressure and ran into the clinch for no one's reason.
Yeah, and it's wild. Kayla Harrison, is she the 35 and 45 champion?
I don't think they care about 45 anymore.
Yeah, they do, but it's a nice medal to have.
If making 35 becomes a problem, or if the only way they can get Amanda Nunes back is at 145, you'll see 145 again. Other than that, I think it's 135. But as long as Kayla doesn't have problems making weight, and obviously looking at her on Saturday, and even when she stepped on the scales Friday morning, all things considered, she looked pretty good.
And you guys were there for that, right?
Yeah.
And we were there Wednesday for media day when she kind of stood up, had the tube top on, and was like, look, everybody, I'm shredded, and I'm here, and I'm vocal, and I'm talking.
Sucked up or anything.
Cutting weight did not seem to be too much of a problem for her. So, she's as advertised, and she will dominate 135 as long as she can continue to make weight.
She is gigantic fight night, I will say that. Her back, I mean, she looked better than some of those guys, like the rippedness of her, and from what I've heard at ATT, that those initial meetings, Kayla and Amanda, I heard she got the better of some of those. And that was early on when Kayla didn't know anything and she was just a Druid girl. So that would be interesting coming in. I think if they want to give her the medal at 145, great. I think she could be dual champion, 135, 145. I don't see anybody stopping it.
No, I don't either.
I just don't think they want to open that can of worms and ever revisit women's 145. I think it's 35, and if they bring Amanda back like they're planning to, it's all going to be 35 and get these big fights done. Oh, that was the pretty good inclinations we got from Amanda on social media after Kayla's fight, and then even when that was mentioned in the post-fight press conference, Dana was like, oh, interesting. Thought she retired too young anyway.
Well, even going back several fight cards, Amanda had been making noise about, maybe I retired too soon. Maybe I should come back. I think certainly with Kayla in UFC now and having a successful debut, I think that gives her a reason to come back if she wants to. Maybe she was getting a little bored, a little stagnant with the competition. I think this will be a new challenge for her and probably something that's very enticing.
So what about if Pena comes out and actually has a good fight against her, possibly beats her? Do you think Amanda would consider coming back after that?
That's interesting. Maybe. But that could put a wet blanket on things.
Juliana is a strong woman, man. That girl.
She is, but she ain't no Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison will mop the mat with
we gotta
her
see
head.
that because I think that's what we're going to see next.
Well, Raquel has the belt, and as soon as everyone started saying,
She's just a placeholder.
well,
Say it.
I think they're going to make either the Kayla versus Raquel or the Pena Raquel fight. They're going to get the belt off of her by getting the belt off of her, not stripping her. So I think it's going to be a process to get there. So maybe they rush Kayla depending on how Pena's injury status is, because I feel like she's been the least vocal party out of everyone lately.
Well, ever since Amanda retired. it's kind of like quieted up after that, you know what I mean? But I think she's a hell of a fighter, man, and I believe that she may give Kayla a little bit of problems.
Possibly. Guys, what about this LA card? BKFC, Knuckle Mania, Los Angeles. What are you guys excited for?
It's just big overall. The first time that you get to set into this California market, this is their marquee event of the year, and obviously the main event because Mike Perry is extra entertainment value every time he steps in there. Last fight, he spent the first round just eating punches from Eddie Alvarez until he smashed Eddie's face right back and literally broke that face apart until Eddie quit in the corner.
Mike Perry's interesting because when he left UFC, it's kind of like that Tony Ferguson vibe now. You're like, he's just done. There's nothing else for him in combat sports. He'll go get a celebrity boxing match or two, something else, and then we'll never hear from him again. He has rejuvenated his career at BKFC. And it's been something very interesting to watch. And it took a while. At first I thought, maybe it was a fluke. I don't think it was a fluke. I think it's legit, and I'm happy for him. I'm curious to see what happens tonight.
What do you guys think about this boxer, Aguayo?
Alfredo Angulo?
He was a
man, he is a dog.
But he's making his BKFC debut, and I saw that, and I had to double take. I was like,
I'm having issues trying to say his name, but they call him Pedro.
Yeah.
He is a dog. He likes to sit in the pocket. He likes to bang. He had a really good fight against Canelo.
Yeah, he absolutely did, which is next weekend, May 4th. And just do you think because of Austin's success? Because after Paulie Malignaggi did his fiasco, I said boxers maybe shouldn't be in there. It's a different sport, different everything. Austin kind of changed that. Do you think that's what they're hoping with this former champion as well?
Well, you think about it as well. I don't know much about the former champion that's going to fight, but the thing is, too, look at the problems that John Dodson had. And in a fight that I believe that he lost against a successful boxer.
And I did want to touch on that real quick, and I know I'm jumping off. Micah, did you have him winning that fight here in Albuquerque, John Dodson?
I was telling everybody it was going to be a draw as soon as we were going to the scorecards. He got knocked down twice. He scored one knockdown and pushed forward the last 2 rounds.
That he scored. I mean, I know.
It was
what they
scoring
called.
If you wanted to call it a push, it would be called a push. If they called it a knockdown, it was a knockdown.
Yeah.
Was he pushing with that punch? I felt like he was, but they called it a knockdown, so it was a knockdown.
I was honestly surprised because in the co-main event, Donald executed the game plan to perfection. And to see the same cornerman not able to adjust to that gentleman's length, I forget his name.
Dagoberto.
There you go, yes. His length, his reach, I just didn't understand why his corner wasn't making those slight adjustments or telling him to make those slight adjustments. Speaking of John Dodson.
Right, he got caught up early. It looked like the adjustment they made in the final rounds was really push forward, make this a dogfight, don't pitter-pat on the inside where he was getting caught in that middle range. It was get right into the clinch, make it a dogfight, and that's when you saw him having more success.
So being that you have the inside track, what are you hearing for John next?
They have not set a date, but it's going to be a rematch. That's what they were talking about. It was a draw.
I know they're talking maybe possibly Miami or a few of the guys want it out there from what I hear.
If they want it out for the overseas event, the first big event, that's a possibility, and that could happen. John's willing to fight anywhere. He said he'd be willing to go to Florida. Dagoberto, that's what he wanted, obviously, because he already came out here, and he'd rather not fight at elevation again. And according to BKFC, next time they're going to be in New Mexico, they're talking about doing Las Cruces and actually giving Austin his world title fight at home. That's at least what they were talking about. Nothing official yet.
What do you guys think about that, going to cruises?
It's different. I mean, if you're afraid of burning out the market, maybe going out of cruises isn't a bad thing.
Are you gonna
I think I would stay here till I burned out the market, though.
I don't know. Can you burn out this market, though? We're Fight City.
As long as you're delivering, no. And I think all in all, Mike, you'd agree BKFC is delivered in their bigger cards.
They're delivering, but you can see there was a slightly smaller crowd the last time. So I don't know if there's an oversaturation, or if you looked at the last card with John, with Donald, it was one of those moments where they didn't bring in a big name. Last year we were talking about Greg Hardy, Lorenzo Hunt, Mike Richmond. Then they went to the same venue with the same audience and doing John Dotson, Donald Sanchez, Wilfredo Santiago, the local names, Austin Lewis. So that was really them. Did we build up these names enough to carry on this market that seems to be our biggest market, so that they can start taking their bigger names to markets that they need to obviously start to saturate?
And right now we're watching the curtain jerker, Alvarez versus Rojas. Is that
Rosas?
Rosas. Are you guys even paying attention to this fight? Or am I talking your ear off?
You were talking my ear off, but
because I'm trying to catch up, guys. I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Alvarez looks like he's winning.
Alvarez got dropped. And
yeah.
pieced out.
I think he got dropped twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
Other guy's bleeding. That's why I thought he was winning. I'm like, oh. Usually the guy that's bleeding is losing.
Rules, do they have a knockdown rule, like 3-round knockdown?
No.
No.
No. You just keep going.
Until they decide to call it, huh?
Yeah, well, it's only a 10-minute fight. It's not like it goes on forever. But, yeah, you can get knocked down until the ref finally stops, so you can't make the 10 count.
And that's amazing what you said. I don't know if you heard him. He said that the crowd, there was kind of, you could feel less, I guess. Is that what you want to call it?
There was a little less people in the crowd. You'd say there was a couple hundred less people in the last one, but we're talking about from where they were with their 2-division champion and with a superstar lineman, that only a couple hundred people when you only had the local fighters. I don't know if that's a bad thing.
And I'll be honest with you, on TV while we were watching it and streaming it here and doing the podcast, New Mexico stood up. It felt like the UFC event when they were in Rio Rancho, when they sold out and everything. Honestly, the crowd was that loud.
Well, there was definitely more people there than there were at the Rio Rancho
on TV,
event.
I don't know if they piped in sound. It didn't sound like it to me. They were super loud.
No, it was ridiculously loud.
Well, and I think the hope of, if they do wind up doing cruises, obviously with Austin Trout, you should be able to draw a good crowd, but then maybe entice some of those people for the next card back here in Albuquerque. Or if you can entice enough people to drive down to cruises, but you could maybe rotate that back and forth a little bit to keep everything fresh for each city, but still draw good crowds from both locations.
Is Austin a draw here, though? Even in cruises. I've seen them for boxing down there. If we're talking the Pan Am Center,
that's going to be the test, I guess. And I'm also thinking that would kind of be their soft introductory to can they pull fighters from El Paso, because they have done Las Cruces, El Paso tryouts before, but with no Texas. I don't know if they've been able to utilize any of those fighters.
And there's also the corner of Arizona there that has some MMA fighters. Maybe they can transition them over. I don't know.
One thing that's a little off subject about what you guys are talking about a little bit, refereeing. Okay, I'm seeing who's reffing right now. You know, that guy has reffed I don't know how many UFC events. I felt like the last BKFC event had horrible reffing going on, man. Letting fighters go on that I believe that shouldn't have gone on. Stopping a little bit early. There was some bad reffing. So I wonder if they're trying to clean that up by bringing in these veteran guys as opposed to the... I didn't know any of the refs from the last fight.
What did you guys think of the ref?
If you saw earlier on this card, they had Kerry Hatley, and he did the majority of the work here. He was a Texas Athletic Commission guy.
Say no more.
Originally, who then at some point became one of the lead BKFC guys, and he's been there now for a few years, but he did the majority of the fights here. What you're seeing now today is the first time in California, so it's the first time that you're seeing Mike Beltran. On the prelims, Chris Lieben made history, first person to referee and fight in BKFC.
And those are the type of guys that I wish would step up to judge, to ref, They've been in there. They've been in those positions. They know when a fighter is truly hurt. And I feel like some of these other gentlemen that do the reffing and ladies, maybe they've never been in those compromising positions. You know, whether it be...
Back to my question too, what do you guys think of the reffing on the last week's UFC?
It's up and down. I think they're still trying to understand some of the rules. There's some of the times where, was that a knockdown? Was that a push? Was that shot legal? Did he just hit him on the ground?
And they let him get up, stumbling and falling again, and then allowing them to fight.
And they're counting still. There's a couple of them that did that.
It's some bad refereeing, yeah.
Okay.
It's inappropriate refereeing.
Is it because we're kind of UFC 1 through 25 stage where they're still trying to figure out the rules, still trying to figure out the reffing? It's not just Big John McCarthy in there. They're rotating, they're training.
Yeah, because if we're talking about New Mexico, they've had 5 events here.
Yep.
So that's not a lot of experience to how great is the judging, how great are the referees. You've done this a whopping 4 times, you know what I mean? And now we're opening new states everywhere.
I
So
wish they would bring in a Joe Coca, to be honest with you. I know his brother was fighting and stuff like that. Maybe that's why they didn't want to certify him. I don't know the deal. But he's an ex-fighter. He knows the game.
he has been to tutorials and stuff for Colorado, I think, and some stuff with Texas about bare knuckle. Specifically, I believe he didn't work that event because of his brother, so he was emotionally invested already.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. And in your interview, he was emotional. He wanted to be in there, right?
Yeah, you could see that. He was fully wanting to go back to his competitive days. It was that emotional.
Even in arm wrestling events, if there's an arm wrestler that's coming up to arm wrestle and they are related to the referee, they have to get off of the table and allow somebody else to referee that match.
I just think the emotion probably wasn't there for that event. His focus may not have been there either.
Like for the total event.
Right, for the total
I
event.
got you.
So,
And I get it. I mean, like, arm wrestling is a combat sport. And,
it is.
And the thing is, you know, it's not as detrimental on this as far as how careful you have to be with somebody sincerely getting hurt. So,
Yeah.
Looks like some of that damage is catching up again. Alvarez has Rosas' left eye pretty damaged.
oh yeah.
And you were saying in the main event of UFC 300, again, we haven't gotten to talk to you guys, and so that's why I wanted to end. You guys have beautiful seats. I'm a little jealous. Just slightly.
So I'll tell you the thing that everyone missed out on, because the great production like the UFC does, everything is top notch, but a moment that was missed by a lot of the cameras, if you didn't see it, when Pereira's doing his walk out and he does that walk in and he pulls back his arrow and he shoots it. I'm pretty sure that when he shot it, after the camera swings around from him, you see Jamal Hill kind of calling him in. What you missed is Jamal Hill caught the imaginary arrow, grabbed that thing, broke it over his knee, threw it out Pereira, and then was waving him in. So he really laid it out there.
So then he basically said, come get some.
Yeah.
And he gave it to him. What's next for him? Because obviously he wanted to fight on the Brazil card. You mentioned that he had a broken foot.
Broken toe.
Yeah, broken toe.
And the UFC never said anything why they wouldn't let him. At least I didn't read anything about it. But I honestly thought they were going to let him at least co-headline, maybe headline, and some kind of fun fight, maybe.
I think maybe the issue right now is he wants to move up to heavyweight. They'd like to slow that just a little. You're also a little clogged at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Now, I think he could be very successful there, and he could wreck a lot of plans. I do. Against John, against Stipe, probably against Aspinall. As long as nobody takes him down, he's going to be just fine. Maybe it gets a little interesting if he gets to the ground. But I think UFC wants to slow that roll just a little bit, and they'd like to have him fight at least a couple more times at light heavyweight. So maybe that's part of what the discussion is on what's next for him.
I think the UFC wants superstars, and Alex Pereira's a superstar, and the light heavyweight division has been lacking of a superstar since John Jones.
Yeah.
So why hurry up to devoid that division of a real star when you're pretty equipped at every other division to have depth no matter where the title goes? Light heavyweight is the one red herring where you're like, do we really just want to reserve the title to Magomed Ankalaev?
I agree with that, but the thing is, too, on the other hand, he is a superstar. So if he's telling the UFC, okay, well, I'm not going to fight at 205, you know?
Does he have enough juice?
He has superstar power, bro.
I don't know.
That's right. It goes both ways, though, I think.
I think the only one that has that superstar power, McGregor. I don't think any of them have that.
Oh, look, there's Connor, and then there's everybody else. And as far as that goes, I think you're 100% right. You look at the rest of that roster right now, Pereira might be the guy who could be that guy. Maybe not the McGregor guy, but right under there.
Like John Jones.
I always thought John had it, but he doesn't. He doesn't. Don't let him sit on the shelf.
John doesn't have it because John at times has been his own worst enemy.
Yes.
And without some of that stuff, yes. And without that, yes, John Jones, we will be talking about him very differently. But Pereira, the worldwide appeal, he is so over with the fans.
I can't believe not only his kickboxing resume and championships, for him to come into MMA and do what he's done. Has anybody done it just as fast?
And with no wrestling ability whatsoever. None. Zero.
I agree with the Duke guy. Oh, Tarios. I got to remember him, man. I keep seeing that shirt across from me.
It's all good. When you can punch like that, before they can take you down, you can get around. At some point in time, he will meet up with a wrestler who's going to give him problems. But I don't think UFC is going to go out of their way to throw him in that situation. When you have to do it, you have to do it. And then we'll see how he reacts. But yeah, just a typical Alex Pereira fight. That dude is dominant.
I think it's gonna be a la Chuck Liddell versus Randy Couture one.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like it's going to be an upset, where a wrestler is going to go in there and outbox you, out-wrestle you, and it's just going to be an amazing night.
And you know who that is?
Who?
John Jones.
I think John's on his way out. I don't think he's going to be there much longer. And it's not even the fact that he's over the hill. I think he's just, I don't know. What's left for him? To fight one of these young guys?
After assuming
that's a super fight. How many people would want to see that?
Yeah.
I guarantee a ton.
I think John takes him down.
Duh.
Assuming we get John and Stipe eventually, that might be it for John. I don't know what's left to entice him. Well, Aspinall is intriguing. I don't necessarily. Now I think he could beat Aspinall, but I don't think it's a very enticing situation for him. I don't know how much John would want to fight Pereira. I mean, yeah. At some point in time, look, I was the greatest light heavyweight of all time, maybe the greatest MMA fighter of all time. I proved my dominance at heavyweight. Why do I want to stick around and have somebody beat me?
Yeah. Legit.
Yeah.
I would like to see Pereira. I would like to see Jones and Pereira. Back in the day, I wanted to see Jones and Silva.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to see John Jones fight a Surreal Gone, so maybe he does stick around and take on these young guys, but there's only so many options, and it feels like the most obvious one is they're doing the Stipe fight at the end of the year. The UFC is still zeroed in on that matchup. They believe that is going to do something to,
and
trend.
How hard is it knowing that you're probably the GOAT in MMA? How hard is it to get up for these young guys? Why would you even want to, like you just said?
Right.
Why would you? I'm not going to give up my O. And he is O. I don't care what anybody says. Hamill did not beat him. I know what the little paper says is one. He didn't. He got dominated. He got ragdolled by John. And John threw those illegal elbows, whatever you want to call
Which aren't illegal anymore, right?
Micah, I'm going to lean on you. Are they illegal now?
Yeah, they're still illegal.
They are?
so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're still illegal. They don't really care about that one as much as trying to sort out how can people figure out what is and isn't a grounded opponent to knee in the head.
Yes.
That one's more prevalent right now.
And what about these Bellator, UFC gloves that are curved? Micah, your thoughts on these new gloves that they brought out?
We'll see if it makes much of a difference come UFC.
Is it 302?
Yeah, New Jersey. We'll see how much of a
That's when they're
difference.
bringing them out?
That's when they're bringing them.
Last event.
No, they were same as the old ones,
They were
yeah.
eye-poking the heck out of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're still right now. What has happened is that they've sent them out to all the fighters on the 302 and I believe 303 cards and fight nights, and they're letting them practice with them so they can get used to it. So they're supposed to be thinner so that you're able to move your hand more. That the fingers have more individual bend to it for grappling, but that just a more naturally resting curve so that you're not forced to open your hand to poke your opponent in the eye. So hopefully they'll work out better.
Did you guys get a chance to see them?
We have a whole little. Oh, do you still have it? Oh yeah. Yeah, we have the official little
Actually, I have a couple, so there you go.
Yeah, you can read about them, the official handout.
UFC official fight gloves. That's 3-8, 5-8. What does that mean?
That's the names of the gloves.
And then now you're not allowed to wear the UFC gloves if you're not in the UFC. I saw the video.
You saw the
What's deal with
video.
the gold and the black?
So gold gloves are worn for title fights. Black gloves are wearing when you're in the UFC. They have Contender Series gloves. They have tough gloves, and then they also have red gloves that are like the road to the contenders, the road to UFC China show, and some of the other international ones. You wear red gloves. So yeah, there's basically a
tier system,
to build up to your UFC gloves.
Earn that UFC glove on your hand. Real quick, guys, before we start talking about Knuckle Mania, and I know that's what we're here for, WrestleMania. I had to ask you guys because you guys are the wrestler guys, you guys are the sports entertainment, and now they're not even calling it sports entertainment, correct?
No, they're kind of they kind of still go back and forth a little bit between sports entertainment and wrestling. Yeah.
What did you think about that old man in the main event named The Rock in day one?
When he was spanking them with the belt or whatever?
Yeah, he was ripping up. But not only that, but he didn't blow up.
He did not.
Minutes in, like all the older guys. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like he actually lasted.
I think they worked a slower paced match,
Sure.
and I don't think that was by accident. But no, I thought The Rock more than held his own. I don't think he did anything to harm his legacy or look old or out of shape. I thought he looked really good, and I have no doubts we will see him back. He's getting ready to start filming a movie.
Yeah.
It's a UFC movie.
Smashing machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark Hurt.
Yeah. After that, I have no doubts we will see him back.
And what you guys think? The only thing that I found interesting was that ESPN announcer. I don't know if you guys caught it, where he said he's battling cancer still during the live event.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, and then they said, oh, he's taking time off, and he really is Roman Reigns.
Yeah. He's not. I mean, I guess it depends on how you define battling cancer. And he even talked about it at the president. Right. He does still take oral chemotherapy,
Yes.
which I think is something he said he probably would have to take the rest of his life. But, this has gone into remission before in return, so you do have to be proactive with it. But as far as actually, like it not being in remission, I do not believe that's the case, but he does still take some sort of oral chemotherapy.
It was just, to me, me and him would have had a conversation in the back.
Yeah, choose your words a little more carefully.
Absolutely, because that stuck with me the rest of the night. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't shake it. I mean, we kept talking about it. We kept talking about it. And I'm like, why would he say that? Like, why would you put my personal business out there like that? Like, I would be lying for him.
Yeah.
I would be lying for him. And who knows if he did or didn't? I don't know. It was just interesting. Between the TKO, man, they're going to be a force.
Oh, yeah.
With the UFC and matching the events together, lining them up. I was surprised that we didn't see fighters, UFC fighters, on their pre-show, at their event.
I was a little surprised, at least sitting in the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, because we have seen that with WWE fighters at UFC events. And we had Chandler show up on Raw a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah, we've seen a couple.
But yeah, there were none at WrestleMania. You thought that might be a golden opportunity for a little synergy.
For 300.
Or at 300. Yeah, because I don't think there were any WWE fighters at 300.
And we were actually having a conversation in the media about, could Cody Rhodes, could somebody like that be showing up to 300, just because you had kind of been seeing this synergy. Tai Tuivasa had been at Monday Night Raw. That's who it was.
Right. Yeah.
Rhea Ripley had been at a UFC event. There was recently Montez.
Chandler jumped on the mic.
Yeah, Michael Chandler on Raw. Montez Ford and Bianca Belair were at a UFC event. So there's been a lot of synergy. So we're surprised to not see more for Mania and more for 300.
Absolutely. Well, this is a powerful group. Having the PBR wrestling, you have now also the UFC, and like you gentlemen touched on last time.
What about Power Slap?
They have that. Oh, that's where they're going. A lot of them. I saw that. They were at the event. The wrestlers were at the Power Slap event. So is that another avenue that they're going towards?
They also, Super Bowl week, they had a lot of NFL stars at that Power Slap. Dana, I don't know how much TKO per se is wanting to push Power Slap right now, but that's obviously something that's very near and dear to Dana White's heart, and he's putting a lot of effort into it. And it's not my cup of tea per se, but I think they're doing fairly well for being so young in what they're trying to do. And look, obviously a different time and a different set of circumstances, but I think they're further along 2 or 3 years in than UFC was back in the day 2 or 3 years in, but where you could still only go to a couple of states.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not my thing at all.
Me either.
I like watching it.
Do you?
Yeah, I enjoy it, man. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. One thing that trips me out is the coin toss. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a huge advantage. You know, you get a 50-50 chance of going first, and some of these guys powerful enough to knock just about anybody out, you know?
Well, you know, they probably had a giant conversation on a Tuesday in Dana's matchmaking session about how do we decide which guy goes first, and you can't have a fight before the fight. I'm like, do we have a thumb war, rock paper scissors? Like what should define this anyway?
That would be funny.
Rock paper scissors.
I don't want you to have to know. Does anybody ever defer when they win the coin toss? No. I want to hit second.
Right? It's like no. I'll kick. You receive.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's rough. Is this white panties night?
Yes.
Like you got to talk to pink panties, didn't you?
I talked to both of these guys heading into the fight.
Now he's wearing white panties. What do you have to say about Albuquerque?
He said that it was great because he got to hang out with his mom, and he's only got to see his mom a couple times in his life.
He's from here?
No, he's not from here. He is located in Kentucky. Not fully still sure about all the background, but yeah, he was, his mother, I believe, drugs, prison, so they were separated, so he was somewhere with other family members is where he was raised, and she's barely came back into his life in the recent years. That was his first win in BKFC.
I was shocked he made it out of the ring, to be honest with you, with what he was telling the TV commentators after New Mexico, blah, blah, blah. He was just running his mouth, and I was like, ooh, this crowd don't look like that kind of crowd tonight. It looks like they might have a little bit of courage juice in them.
Oh, there was that kind of crowd, and he stayed in that back area after that. But no, excellent story. He went from being homeless to shooting for his dreams, fighting. He has quite the backstory, and then on the other side, yeah, this is what he asked for, was to go fight on this card, and lucky for him there was an injury, so he jumped in as a replacement. Not sure who the injured party was, but Andrew Angelcore was already scheduled to be on the card. He's from Barstow, California, and welcome the replacement.
Well, there's another thing, too, if you think about it. He was on the last card, and so was the guy on the prelims, the one that beat Frank the Tank.
Oh, yeah, the other Keith Dawson.
Yes, he was.
The Titties, the one that we were watching with Sorry, that's what we didn't know his name. But he had big old man boobs, man.
So anyway, he won again tonight. A little bit tougher contender, but You know, these guys came in, both of them dominated the fight, and, you know, I could see why there's such a quick turnaround, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't take much damage at all.
No.
Right. I'm not quite sure about what Ruben Moore's connection to California is, but they did say that Dawson was residing in California, so they gave him that opportunity real
So
quick.
is that really his last name, Michael Moore?
Yeah, that's what everything on Tapology and everything is said.
Went to War Machine. Remember him?
Right, yeah, yes.
That's where it went to, and the tattoos reminded me of him. Again, one of the nicest dudes I ever met at an event. It's just when things, I didn't realize he was going to go that psychopath that he did. But they were two of the coolest people ever, him and his lady at the time. They were yes sir, no sir. Like, I was shocked. I expected them to be assholes. I really did when we had him, and we hosted him in Iowa for a Bellator. And I was expecting a complete diva type person. I wouldn't want that last name. Let's circle back. It tied with him. Who is this guy, Micah?
Oh, that one they were just showing was David Diaz.
Where's he from?
Los Angeles, but he's also obviously playing full into his heritage.
I swear to God, I thought the Village people were going to perform after this fight, and they were showing him warming up.
Wow. Yeah, I was like, what hat is that?
Don't mess with the mustache.
It's the cop and the cowboy. He's going to play two roles.
He's going to chase himself.
You know, I've lived in New Mexico a long time and heard some guys yell some just incomprehensible Spanish, but what that dude was yelling on the scale yesterday, I literally cannot tell you what he was saying.
Was it?
He was just, something.
He was just rambling
just up on the scale, rambling that they showed up for the ceremonial weigh-ins. I was like, is that, none of it makes sense. Okay.
Do you know anything about him?
2-1 so far in bare knuckle, is a California fighter. They said he is a street fighter, so he has a notorious kind of past in LA. He's known. On the other side, he's taking on Shane Jordan. Jordan, boxing trainer, actually has been helping Lorenzo Hunt, who was helping train Bryce Hall and a bunch of the influencers. So we have a kind of wrong side of the tracks upbringing who has experience in the sport against a celebrity trainer coming into the sport. So there was already animosity at the weigh-ins because of just that narrative.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. One thing I will say, somebody commented, and I know everybody's going to probably eye roll at me because I lost my shit whenever we were doing it. Somebody said that these fighters suck. And your take on somebody saying a fighter sucks, in your opinion. I want to hear this. And I don't know if you heard the episode, but I lost my mind, and I'll reiterate what I said.
Man, there can be like bad fights, there can be bad performances, but they don't suck. The effort that they put in, the time that they put in. If we really got to go back in the Wayback Machine, guys, streaming services are available. Bully Beatdown has to be somewhere. Like that was the ultimate lesson, and that was before MMA was even popular.
And that's to a degree what I said. I said, I guarantee you won't say that to any of these guys' faces.
Look, I'm certain I've said the same thing before. Sure. The reality is, fighters do not suck. Some might be better than others, but whoever you think is the worst fighter out there will beat the hell out of you.
Yep,
so that is something to remember. I think, especially in this day and age of social media, we go from critiquing a fight to critiquing a fighter to taking things too far. And at certain times, I'm sure we're all guilty of it. Like I said, I'm sure I've done it, but it is something I try to be aware of. And if I am going to really go after a fighter, at least have a reason for why I'm doing it. Because, just say, this fighter sucks, or they suck. I could kick their ass. Bull crap.
And what it was that irked me was, they had a lot of seasoned guys on there.
Yeah.
On that last card, and two of them got pretty quickly, the fights ended. But to say they suck, I'm like, you guys got to go back to when they were fighting at Sunshine Arena. They didn't suck. They were actually raising us to get to this level, and that's what I was trying to explain to everybody. Is there? You should be thanking them.
Right.
These guys are the reason why you guys are fighting this BKFC right here in front of this huge crowd.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the big crowds. at Sunshine Theater. They used to put up the sound protector. And people would bang on it while they're watching the fights. They wouldn't let you pass that. Like, that's how far we've come. The guys would be rolling underground, warming up, and the beer guy would come grab the beer from underneath the Sunshine Theater stage. But that's where these guys came from.
Right.
That's their generation. Now, are they trying to make the money? Yeah.
Cody East is fighting for his King of the Cage title at the Sunshine Theater, and I can remember being back in that underground warm-up area, and you can hear the glass, and you start literally hearing the commission screaming up the little tunnel. Does somebody have a mat? Can we get a mat down here for the guys to warm up on? And they're like, for reals.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Those guys that you're saying suck are the reason why you're actually competing in front of these New Mexico crowds. And those guys were actually very, very good at one time in their sport. We all get old.
Yep.
We all slow down. Stepped off the stairs today, almost twisted my ankle. Get out of here. Like, I know I'm slowing down. It's life. It happens to us all.
Exactly.
So, but yes, I just wanted to hear your guys' opinion on it because, like I said, I lost my mind. My lady was like, no, don't tell him, because she knows my response, and I was a lot rougher with the response than the way I love the way you guys both said it. You guys said it a lot better than I ever could.
Well, when it happens in the heat of the moment, and you see that, it's like, I'm very critical of Tony Ferguson because it pains me to watch him fight now. I would never say he sucks because at one point in time he was as good as anybody.
Yeah.
Now
his jiu-jitsu is amazing.
Exactly, but you still have to respect the accomplishments.
Yes.
And whether it's someone like that, someone else, you don't have to like them. You don't have to say you think they're still good now if you really don't. But you also don't have to go out of your way to be a prick about it either.
Absolutely. Michael, what do you think about this fight right now?
I'm trying to figure out what the cut man is doing because he's like pouring little drops of something onto the cuts, and that's not the normal way that we're seeing that handled in combat sports. You normally see the Q-tips, but there was like a liquid substance and Vaseline. So I wonder if they were...
Vaseline? Uh-oh.
Vaseline?
No Vaseline, but it's fine.
It's an Austin Trout trick.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
That usually stops the cut. And I know, again, people were saying that they were cheating for the Japanese or Chinese fighter. They were saying
Sean and the Whaley fight. Because on commentary, I guess they said that they gave her smelling salt, which wasn't the case, but it was whatever they were putting on the cuts has ammonia or something in it. And
not only that, but they use an old school boxing trick. And I try to tell people, I'm like,
they shove a piece of ice up your nose or something?
No, it's your finger, and they take it.
That's it, yeah.
And you shove it, and you just do it to yourself right now, just a little bit. And it'll wake you up. It hurts. It shoots a pain where it'll wake you up. That's super old school. Not a lot of people know that. I'm surprised these cut men do because they're younger. I would expect like a Stitch Duran to know that.
Right.
I hadn't seen that in a long time. I actually had to re-watch it, and I realized what he was doing. I said, oh my God. And I called my dad, and I said, hey, Pop, check this out. And he's like, yeah, that's old school. To wake you up. That's what they were telling them. Because they said that they were doing something illegal, giving them the sniffing salt and all that. And it wasn't that. This is a little different, though, putting the adrenaline on the cut. If they did, I know here in New Mexico you can't mix it into your Vaseline. You're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm. At least here everybody has the same cut men, so...
Yeah, I was noticing that as well.
They always use the same guys, so I don't really... It's more commission by commission. What are they allowing? How are they changing it to try to limit the amount of cuts in this sport that I was noticing? Angel Core, I think, is winning this fight. It's the sharper striker. He said it when I interviewed him. He was going to take War into deep water. This guy came out, knocked someone out. He's feeling good about himself. He hasn't been into deep water. I'm going to make him feel it.
Point down to the mat. And then slightly at the end when you were talking. Sorry, that's also, guys. He's a gentle.
Sorry, can you back up just a second?
We're trying to take him outside. Come on, you gonna go? Okay. It's time to go potty.
That was another crazy fight, by the way. Holloway and Gaethje.
That was an incredible fight.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was going to say on the Wei Lee thing, if she doesn't push Yan off of her after the submission, she's kind of leaves her laying on her, it's over because I can't move, she's asleep.
She was out.
I thought she kind of, heard her case. I'm like, dude, you kind of helped jolt her back into consciousness there.
Who's next?
Tatiana Suarez would be the most likely contender, but when we talked to her the night before the event, when I caught her at the PFL event, she's like, I hope. She hadn't heard anything. She didn't have like a VIP pass to UFC 300, so it was just a guess that she's the highest ranked contender. There's been a lot of hype about her. If she's healthy and ready to go, she would seem like the obvious choice.
Is it more whoever's the most popular nowadays, or is it actually the rightful contender?
It depends what weight class you're talking about and who that contender and who that more popular choice
Give
is.
me an example of both.
Well, it's hard to say. There would be an argument, I guess, if you say Strickland would deserve a rematch before Adesanya. Adesanya gets his because he's more popular. That would really be a good one.
If Holloway wanted to stay at 155, you'd probably shoehorn him into a title shot pretty quickly.
Over Sayukian, who's won like 3 in a row in the division. Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, as far as the women's strawweight, I mean, it almost has to be Suarez. She just beat Shannon. It's not going to be Lamoish. I mean, Andrade won at 300, but
She doesn't look like Jessica Andrade that we all remember.
I don't
right?
think anybody's clamoring for that. So she beat Marina Rodriguez, so it's not going to be her. It's not going to be Mackenzie Dern.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Mackenzie. Who do you think won this fight?
Oh, well,
Ooh,
Split.
we're split here.
it's a split.
I think War won.
Yeah?
I think Angel Core won, but... Yeah, Angel Core won. We got 4 rounds on one card and 3 on another.
The king of calories.
And I don't even know if that was the nickname. I think that just came up in the last couple weeks because he's been shouting out, I might not be the biggest name on this card, but I've sold the most tickets on this card personally. So this is my card that you are coming to. I am the king of California as far as bare knuckle goes.
Who would you guys want to see, either MMA or boxing, jump into the bare knuckle?
Holly Holm.
I want to say no. Hit the wah button. Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, why not?
No, man, she can't do it.
Yes, she
There's no
can.
way.
I believe that she would do well.
You know what? I don't think it's a bad idea.
See? There we go.
I don't say it's the greatest idea, but look, hold on. They don't.
You get shit off of out of a moving car, and it's an idea.
Right.
It's probably not the greatest idea.
Depends on how fast you're going. You're right. You don't want to go back in. Right. Yeah. Look, Dana White
What are you
said
trying to do?
post fight 300. He'd like to see Holly Holm retire.
Yeah, I would too.
All right.
Like to see her in what?
Retire.
I would too.
Now, in all honesty, I think UFC will keep giving her fights as long as she wants. But that should tell you you're not a priority for us anymore. You're probably never getting another title
I
fight.
don't think she was I don't think she was shown she was a priority by putting her against Kayla.
Well, so they can
Well, true, but if she beats Kayla, everything's changed.
I don't think she had a chance to beat Kayla.
I don't either. But look,
mean,
if there was a struggle with the weight cut,
Yes.
and Kayla was depleted and was all cramped up and nauseous day of fight because she couldn't rehydrate properly, yeah, maybe.
Did you guys hear that she wasn't going to take the fight if she was over and she couldn't make the weight?
If we're being honest, I think that's why Dana White said he would like to see Holly retire. I don't think it has anything to do with Holly necessarily, and I'll just leave it at that. And that's just my opinion. I don't know that, but that was the rap. Look, I've never heard him say he wants to see Tony Ferguson retire, and I don't think Tony Ferguson has won a fight since I turned 21.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, but he's lost a lot. What, 6 straight? Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to talk to you now on the way over here.
But no, seriously, I think there was probably more in Dana's statement than, oh, Holly doesn't have it anymore.
Right. And usually he does get hurt feelings with those type of things.
Sure.
It was interesting because if she didn't, I wouldn't. And usually Lenny, Mike, if they had put that in her brain, which they did because Holly's not gonna say it just outright herself. And what I mean by Mike Winklejohn and Lenny Frescas, the manager and the coach for a long time.
Yep.
If she missed that weight, they're not gonna take the money from her. They're not gonna fight.
Yeah.
And I really thought if she missed weight that morning, it was over.
I kind of got the impression that's what they banked on right up until the point that Kayla stepped on the scales, and they're like, well, damn, now we got to fight.
I did too, to be honest with you. You hit it right on the head.
Well,
I really, truly believe that.
Yeah. And look, think about it, and not even taking a shot at Holly or her camp, but when so many of the fighters have one of two managers, it makes it easier to negotiate because you can say, well, if you get this guy to take this fight, we'll give your other guy this fight. When you're talking about someone who's only managing one fighter, you don't have that leverage if you're UFC, so it can be a little more difficult, and if you're worth it, they'll tolerate it. If they feel like you're not worth it anymore, they don't really have time for you.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. Let these guys eat, let these guys mingle, get something to drink, use the restroom. This is the Beatdown with Friends live event podcast for Knuckle Mania BKFC. We'll be right back.
CageMinds.com, your #1 news source for combat sports and sports entertainment.
Dapper Barber Parlor, located at 5836 Osuna Road in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Walk-ins are welcome or call ahead to book your appointment 505-884-4647.
And we're back in the second round. Diaz versus Jordan. We got the Mexican cop. How's he doing so far?
I think he's getting beat up.
He definitely lost the first round.
He
might have this one.
He's bloody all over. And I'm spilling my game zero. It's him. He's over. Put his hands up. He quit. It's done.
I think he got poked in the eye. Or he said he got poked in the eye anyway.
Diaz coming forward recklessly. Either way.
Yeah. Those looping, chasing, street fighter right hands. Where was it?
Right
there. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He three-stooged him in slow motion. You could see it.
But-
Just kind of flailed. Oh, the hand. He was trying to parry, I
I'm
guess.
surprised we don't see more eye-pokes in BKFC.
Right, especially with BKFC allowing the clinch. Now, in BYB, they make them keep closed fists the whole time. They don't allow the
like
clinch.
the boxing rules.
Yeah, that's the boxing rules, boxing weight classes. That's the Data 5000 triangle. Here, with the ability to clinch, work more in the dirty boxing area, yeah, it's surprising that there's not more eye pokes.
Has there been more events of that BKB?
No, there's more. That's BYB.
Or BYB, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's more, and there is still, I think, BKB. I think that's over in the UK. Yeah. But I think there's been more BKFC events.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of it.
If you've got a rooster, a dog, and yourself tattooed on your chest, you can't go out on an eye poke.
No.
I still-
that I can't see.
I still wonder if that's himself or if he's trying to look like the guy that's tattooed on his chest. Could that be his grandfather or his inspiration?
It's either him or it's a young Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What is that movie where the guy has the mustache? Is it Coco or the other one? And he looks kind of like him, the skeleton that the kid follows around. That's what he looks like, right?
Not really, but
Yeah, with the mustache and the guitar.
I've seen that movie a bunch of times.
I think we've seen it too many times. That's what he looks like, but I think he quits in between.
We'll see. He's got some energy. He missed weight yesterday. Should have some fight in him.
You're missing weight and you're talking all that trash? Good Lord.
When you come out like that, did you see his
yeah.
walkout? Oh my God.
It worked in the boxing last week.
Don't call it crazy until after the fight we get the
And
judges.
to make the excuse, did you see that? That he made the excuse about the, let's go, quit talking to each other.
Fight? I know what's going on with that.
This guy has a lot invested in mental warfare.
Yeah, beat up. Even before the first round, he walked over and I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're like a minute away.
Punched him in the face when his hands were down.
You should
That's
have.
what
Do you see the shirts that Cornermen are wearing?
Yes.
Did it make
Does that need to explain any more about with the team? It's metallic farmer shirts.
Long pointers. They're hanging out.
Some skis.
Yep.
Saturday night in South Central LA.
Is this a good idea to have this event in LA? Well, the Lakers are playing in LA.
Well, at least the Lakers won tonight, avoided elimination, so everybody across the
They won.
street's partying. I did get
What did you call it?
It's going to be a gentleman's sweep.
Some bullshit. That's why this
What
is
is
a
the score
soft
right now? Can
generation.
somebody
No,
look it up?
they won.
Oh, game's over.
Oh, Lakers won?
Yeah, they
Lakers
got
did win, I
the
believe.
Gentleman's sweep.
Oh no, they may get the gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, that's the 4-1 is what I'm calling. They won by
They want
11.
to win at home.
I think that they're going to win at home is what it is. That the elevations is going to be too much in game 5.
Well, this guy's movements just seem nervous.
Jordan and Diaz.
Mustache.
Yeah,
Diaz.
Mustache.
David Diaz.
Diaz is either knocking him out or getting knocked out in this round.
Because he is just coming forward hard, reckless.
Yeah.
You see Jordan looking for these nice counter shots,
Well,
being calm.
they said he was a street fighter, right? Is that what you said?
Diaz, yes.
Yeah, so he's fighting like he's fighting out on the street versus
Street beefs.
Yeah. And this other guy's moving.
But it's making us want to watch.
Yeah. Because he's either going to go lights out or put the lights out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Taunting.
A lot of taunting. We got a trip, and he's taunting. It's like a knockdown. Hey, look at you down there.
Josh.
I know, we're talking away over here.
As he's running into the punches.
And when he said that we're bored of BKFC, it's not that. I just got to catch up with the guys that have been at the live events.
It's always good for
Hey, it was nice.
Back ahead,
that's all, you know.
Yeah.
What weight class is this? Does anybody know?
Micah.
135 pounds. David was like 137
Our
yesterday.
engineer was on at the last event, but lately he's been, he went on vacation last week, so.
For some reason, it's not updated. I'll bail him out. It's not there on the website.
5 pounds.
135?
135 bantamweights.
145? 140?
It was like 137, 137 point something.
138 on this.
138. So it's 2 pounds over.
Looks a little tired, Jordan.
It's tiring moving backwards, trying to avoid all of that crazy coming at you. It's a hurricane.
He did.
Put his
Well,
head down,
just
too.
use your jab as he's coming his head.
Like Ryan Garcia last weekend. He turned around and then throw a hook.
So did you guys hear that the 3 pounds was the reason why he lost?
Devin
I
Haney?
read that on social media.
Yeah, Devin Haney. No, he put it out. He put out a statement saying that he wants a fair fight next time.
Where the
If you
two
know,
can make
yeah,
weight.
if you know you're not going to make weight, so you just stop trying. I mean, that does give you a little bit of an advantage.
Did you see this thing I posted at the press conference? Ryan Garcia said,
But that much of an advantage?
I-
That knockdown advantage?
and 3 pounds different, and drinking every day.
Well,
Ryan is-
he didn't try to deplete himself to make the weight.
Oh,
He came out
Oh.
firing.
Ryan was like the only guy to ever beat him in amateurs. And
Yeah.
He's just his kryptonite. That left, he's not ready for that left.
so you think it'll happen 9 times out of 10?
I do believe that. Did you watch any of the amateur fights, like on YouTube and all?
I didn't realize they fought amateurs.
3 times.
Yeah.
6 times.
Oh, 6 times.
They won 3-3.
Oh, wow.
I believe Garcia got robbed. One for sure, and maybe
Shit,
twice.
he
in
knocked
those
him
fights.
down.
So
That might have been a push too, but
I
yeah.
thought
he
it
was-
was, but he was counting.
like
Yeah.
Mayweather did. I don't know if you saw what Mayweather was talking about. How Devin Haney was throwing his jab with his hand like this, leaving his chin,
Yeah.
and nobody advised it. And
That's what him and
Mayweather
his dad
was,
were talking, right? They were arguing with each other.
and Mayweather was talking to Ryan before the fight. Telling him exactly, hey, he leaves himself open like this and this, and he was the one that told
Not
him to
enough
go
power
in 3 pounds
there.
heavy.
Oh, wow.
That's what
Oh, God.
Mayweather did against.
Diaz might stop Jordan. Jordan's taking some
He did it
shots.
against
Out of gas.
a boxer,
Yes,
and he
yes.
ended up winning. I can't remember what fight. Off the
He
top of
looks
my head.
completely out of gas.
Yeah, the boxer, the street fighter's just still coming forward, still winging.
Well, maybe Mustache wins.
Mustache got the
Dirty
deeper gas
boxing is
tank.
helping him.
Yeah.
Hey, like we talked about, it's not worth making weight.
I think, to me, boxing, MMA, as long as they're not 10 pounds over, or MMA, I think it does.
The ref took the
Wrestling,
kidney
I think
punch
it
like a champ.
does.
Did you see that?
The boxing and bare knuckle, I don't know. if
But
3
losing that
pounds-
weight that much, that last pound, sometimes it hurts.
Yeah. Well, that and then we go back to Kayla Harrison. You know, did she look sucked up? You guys said no, she looked good. She looked energy,
But she was doing it a few times before, right? Like
she did some test cuts.
Yeah.
test cuts.
You
So
know,
she was
honestly,
also
I think
staying.
Ryan knew that exactly what he was doing. He made
Mayweather told
136
him.
last time, you know what I mean? 136 pounds.
He says, he goes, Mayweather told me to come in 3 pounds heavy.
And
But
then
he
still
told me
take
3
it.
pounds heavy. Because Mayweather did it in a fight. I can't remember what fight he did. But Mayweather,
It might have been
Mayweather gave him the blueprint.
Marcus,
It was.
because Marcus is smaller. Was a smaller guy. Juan Manuel Marquez.
That just left hook, and then he was setting it up with the right more, you know, and he was just coming in and was a good
He
fight.
didn't look that good.
No.
No.
He did not look
It
that
looked
good.
like he overlooked him, huh?
And he's fought at 140 a bunch of times, you know, he did not look good. I don't think I don't know, the Roma fight was a
They
little
shook
bit.
hands. That's good. It's funny how it respects, right? What happened?
A timeout. Let's call it.
Doctor stoppage to check on a cut here to see how that eye's doing before the 5th round.
Serious? Why didn't you check it while he was in the corner, you jackass?
Right.
No, that's BKFC rules. They allow the cut man, the corners to work between the timeouts, and then they take the doctor stoppage
Really?
before the round starts.
Oh, wow.
There was one BKFC that I was watching, and the fighter kept telling his corner, I can't see. And his corner's just like brushing him off, sent him back out there. They stopped it. The ref paused it. And then the doctor came up, and he tells the doctor, I can't see it. And of course, the doctor waved it off. But I'm
Right.
like, what kind of patrol corner are you? Like your fighter told you 3-4 times he can't see out of his eyes.
Sideways and he'll throw his punch. Like
Oh yeah. Yep.
Jordan trying to survive here. Diaz still coming forward recklessly.
I am
Boxer
shocked.
about to turn into a wrestler.
I'm shocked Jordan isn't throwing a jab. He's the taller fighter. Diaz is looping in.
He's just coming in
bending to
sideways
the
over
side.
and over again.
Yeah.
There's the weight, the crazy, and the experience.
and then he
All on Diaz's favor.
Is it favorite?
But he has more rounds under his belt, at least.
It looks a little chubby.
Does look a little chubby, so it looks like he could have
to the body,
had the
shit.
pounds to lose. And here's Jordan just going defensive, kind of curling up.
Yeah, it looks like he's out of gas. Like
If he didn't win all 3 of the first 3 rounds, he's going to lose the decision. There was the
he makes it
knockdown,
30
too.
Seconds.
I think he won the first 2, but then that
They
third
both have
round
a
was an
knockdown,
8.
too.
Oh, they do?
We do have a 6th round if there's a draw, but I don't think
explain
he's
that
going to
to
be able
everybody.
to. Oh, well,
I like that for John Dodson then.
under commissions that have the rule approved, there is a 6th round if there's a draw. The John Dodson fight did not go to a 6th round because we did not have that rule. By the end of the night, that rule was on the table and looking, I believe, to be approved at the next commission meeting.
How in the world did they approve? They approved it right there?
No. They said they're going to put it on the table to be approved for the next one. That it would be voted on at the next meeting. That they were able to work out the language and put it on the table so that they would look at it at the immediately following meeting. Not that it was approved that night.
Did we have open
all
squad
his
here?
family,
Yes.
100, 200 people,
Did
just
we
in
watch
family.
it? I can't remember. I don't remember if they were showing that.
They were. That's how I knew that the Dawson fight was going to be a draw partially also. Was I was paying attention to seeing it on the monitor.
And I thought the other guy won. Everybody got mad at me for it, but I really did. I thought he won.
I did too.
I gave John 3 of the rounds. Understood the knockdowns, gave him 2 10-8s, but
He
yeah.
looked confused with his leg.
Yeah, see?
What are you guys looking at?
His support system?
His family.
Oh.
I think that was Joey Beltran.
that's-
Yeah, hey, there we all got that. Another great nickname.
Interesting. Wow, look at that picture.
Maybe that's his dad in the middle on his chest.
Joey Beltran just to get
You think that's Joey Beltran on his chest?
What better bring this to my coach? That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Imagine.
Look at that.
Not weird.
So a dude on the street starts talking smack to you, and he rips his shirt off, and he's got a dog, a rooster, and either himself or his dad on his shirt. You're walking away. You're like, no, man, you won. Yeah, you won, dude. Yeah, I want none of this. You just kicked my ass. I'm leaving.
Look at him. What the hell?
That's what
Yeah.
on his chest.
He does have also. Hey man, they took your dog and they put him on his chest. Look at this dude.
Look at him.
I swear, it looks like him. And it is Pancho Villa.
And they are so dark, those tattoos.
Yes, it does. Look, there he is. Oso's on BKFC. He's famous. I hope he wins.
His head will get bigger.
I'm pretty sure he won.
Shit, it'll fit that big old taco hat that he's wearing. Good
One
Lord.
day I would love to
good
get a
cut.
mustache like that.
That's That's a good joke, though.
Oh, draw.
Oh, we are a straight draw. So we do give Jordan the first 3 rounds, the knockdown in the 4th, 5th round for Diaz. There we go, 47-47.
So does California go 6?
Doesn't look.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. And this is their first event, so I don't even know how their rules are specifically laid out.
California's usually rough. I'm shocked that they're even rallying it in there. They've been one of the most hardest commissions to deal with.
Right, when you hear Dana White say we're taking Power Slap on the road and our first outing is going to be it was in California,
It was in
right?
California.
You're a little surprised, right? You're like, you're sure it's not Texas? Where the second one's going to be? Texas sounds more right.
Texas, you got nut kicking contests. No sanction as long as you give them cash.
Rochambeau.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So as long as we're catching up on things, how was that last arm wrestling competition?
Oh, yeah.
When was it? Goodness gracious.
How was it?
It was fun. I enjoyed
And what
myself.
happened?
I didn't do as well as I wanted to. I was coming right off the couch. But I did take second place right-handed at 176 pounds, and I did not place left-handed.
I like how you worked in. I'm coming straight off the couch. Oh, it wasn't what I wanted. I finished second.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what he said last time to me, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We were all just hanging out the weekend before. Like, what do you...
I get off the couch.
What, second place? Come on down.
Yeah, this is okay. So let's talk about the caliber of events here in Albuquerque as opposed to other states. You know, you're going to be probably arm wrestling all the same people that you've arm wrestled before, you know, in an Albuquerque event, as opposed to if you go to a Texas event or a California or Arizona or Colorado event. I mean, the market that gets brought in here, don't get me wrong, there's great athletes that come over here and stuff like that, but the caliber just isn't as big as if you go to these other states. So,
And your next one?
I was planning on going to Arizona State in June, which is an enormous event. Last year I placed second in that one as well, and the finals was a pay-per-view event on, what's his name? Dang it, now I can't remember. Larry Wills channel, excuse me. The pay-per-view event on Larry Wills channel.
Nate Diaz.
I took second place left-handed in that event. I didn't place right-handed. But that was a huge event. See, that was like a 22-man bracket at 154 pounds, which is where I would arm wrestle at, you know, if I was really going competitive. So, good event, large. It's just, I don't know, I guess I haven't been training as much as it should be or it could be. And I do have love for the sport. I'm just kind of like in a little funk when it comes to it right now, I guess.
Yeah, it happens. But congratulations on
Yeah, that's
second
awesome.
place, man.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you guys think about Hunter and Nate gonna be competing against each other in the boxing ring?
More power to you if you have an audience that's willing to receive it and pay for it. But personally, I'd rather watch them do bare knuckle than traditional boxing against each other.
I don't see what happened.
No, there's no way. She look different. That's not.
They got the wrong people on the website.
Yeah.
Oh boy, BKFC. I need to update
Really
the
good
pictures.
makeup. Yeah.
I think the way Nate fought the last one, I was like, I really don't want to see you box anymore. I was expecting more out of him, being that they kept hyping him up, saying that he was training before.
Right.
Andre Ward, he didn't show any of that boxing that I expected.
I have a hard enough time being interested in boxing boxers, MMA fighters, the celebrity boxing. It's really hard for me. I'd be a lot more excited to see Nate and Jorge in a cage or an octagon, or like Micah said, even BKFC.
It's interesting that the UFC gave him the pass to do this because he's still under contract with them.
So does this have to do with money just because automatically boxers make more? I mean, how does that work? Really?
I think they're getting a piece of the pay-per-view. They're part of the promotion.
Yeah.
They're promotional companies.
I think their two companies are co-promoting it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So it's
then-
a cash grab then,
Yes.
which they can't do in UFC.
True, very true.
Boy, she's a lot of energy right here.
That's what I was thinking. Adrenaline dump.
Good to see her back in fighting. Sydney Shaw, she actually, due to some kind of medical issue, had to pull out of BKFC 57. I was out there in Florida at the last minute fight day. They pulled her from the card. Was supposed to take on Christine Vicente. So now she's moved up a weight class and is taking this fight on short notice with Crystal Pittman, who was originally booked on the card.
So that's probably where the picture is, huh?
Probably.
Is that the wrong picture right there? Who is that?
No.
No, that's the right fighter.
Yeah, I thought Pittman looked a little different.
Well, Photoshop. It happens.
Yeah, see, look at.
Yeah, that's.
A little bit different. There's something different with the hair. Yeah.
Michael, you're being too nice. They used a lot of Photoshop on her face, her arms.
That's why UFC uses the shadow fighters for for new fighters coming in, so they don't put up the wrong picture.
What?
What weight class is it?
135 for women.
So this
that's what
is
she's
where
making.
Hollywood come in and fight.
Yeah, at BKFC.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think I'd want to see Holly do bare knuckle though.
I
I
don't know
would.
if I
I would
would.
like to see it.
Well, it would be a cash grab here. They could put her on here, and then they give her one of these, maybe one of these girls. But what happens if one of these girls actually puts her down?
Right?
Done.
I don't think that would happen.
Never say never in combat sports.
I didn't-
Did
I
you
didn't
see-
say never? I just said I don't think.
I don't think it would either, but could you imagine if it does?
Is that an OnlyFans cape?
It probably is.
What did you just say?
Is that an OnlyFans cape on Crystal Pittman? I think it is. If you look at the tail of her shorts, I think she has a cape tail.
Of OnlyFans?
Yeah, it says OnlyFans. Gotta take that sponsorship to the next level, BKFC.
Hunt, remember Hunt had a OnlyFans on
Yeah.
just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not her. No.
I mean, she's been flaunting her chichaos the whole time through the weigh-ins and everything
Yeah, that's
else,
her,
so-
dude.
She's a liar. That's not her.
Maybe this was after the beach or something. That she looks
That's called
more
makeup.
tanned.
That's lying.
She's covering the
That's false
mole-
advertisement.
The mole on with the hair on.
You worried about the spray tan here?
I've never seen in my life.
There's no way.
The ref.
That's
Michael
a
C.
big
Williams?
mole, like,
He did it for the bike.
No. Jeff Houston.
Yeah, he's part of him.
Okay.
Man so fly his ties upside down.
It was confused because he sounds kind of like him, but he didn't look like him. So I'm like, eh.
really shame.
What did they do with Michael C.
I don't know.
Williams?
Because I don't think he did. I didn't pay close enough. I don't think he did the Bellator event.
No, I think PFL just files their guy all around the world.
Yeah.
Okay, better. What is on her chest?
Sorry, Hillary Swank.
Is that like a robbery scene from a movie?
I think it is.
In the movie she did.
They did a really good job of making her look.
Super ugly.
Oh, that was a.
Yeah.
I think I know what it is. Let me look
That's not
at it
her.
again and I'll tell you.
Don't even put that picture up. That's not
But
her.
look, it's on her banner.
The mole's right there too.
But I'm interested to see these girls now because then maybe I might change my opinion. If this is 135, that's not her, right? Look, you gave a second look.
I'm looking more at the picture on her banner compared to the one on their website, as opposed to looking at her.
Yeah, I think the one on their banner looks like that.
Sitting over here.
But this
Looks
is
like all three different people, huh?
Right?
what do you think?
She lost her identity.
Drunk, buzzed, and neither.
So we're supposed to watch this and believe these girls weigh the same?
Yes.
Because one of them is massively bigger than the other.
Well,
The other one's just big bone.
one of them don't look like the picture either. So
Well, that's very true.
Oh my
so this is 135.
Look at the difference in the legs.
Yeah.
The size is way different.
Her leg is bigger.
Yeah.
Waist.
Like I said,
She's
so
covered her
different.
butt.
buzzed on the flyer, and then
135 and 134.4 yesterday on the scale.
There ain't no way. What was this?
So-
shit buildup in there or something?
It's over. One big right hand. Get in there, Beltran.
Yeah, she never protecting herself.
So
Broke her nose, yeah.
the girl that won had the OnlyFans thing on her trunks. The other girl had a Bible verse. That's a contrast in styles.
It's a contrast.
And OnlyFans won.
So what's the scene?
With that guy.
What's the robbery scene on her chest?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, I think.
Yes. Yeah, that one.
That's
A Bible verse and Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Oh, that wasn't on the nose. That just turned her jaw the wrong way.
broke her orbital. Did you see that big old knot she had?
Yeah.
Does it look like her mascara was running already?
It did. I thought it was her hair in her face.
I'm like, damn.
Why would you wear makeup in there? That's gonna hinder you from seeing.
That's gotta burn, yeah.
Have you seen these girls that play basketball like in high school?
No.
So I have friends that have daughters that play basketball in high
Yeah.
school.
But I'm sure they wear.
Makeup like you wouldn't put.
Glittery makeup and stuff, yeah.
And it's just
And it doesn't
running-
get in their face or nothing,
Oh.
does it? Does it not?
It has to.
It has to.
This girl with Mall Holly.
Waterproof?
yeah, Christine Faria with
This
Mall
girl with
Holly.
Mall Holly. Just this man dude with Mall Holly.
Holly can't throw that little side kick to keep her off. Oh,
Hey babe, is this a stud?
Damn.
She got a good light. No, she's got a shitty light. Somebody come to the Dapper Barber Parlor, have her come over here and get a good light up.
Yes, please.
I believe her OnlyFans profile is under a specialty section.
Hey, what is that?
please come sit down with Barbara Doll and come get it lined up.
Yeah.
Monaco could do better than that.
Oh, Monaco.
Come on, man.
He's talking shit, man.
I'm not talking shit. I just said you do good.
Who do better? The other one, on the other hand, and everybody. That's not you, girl. Oh man, that's gonna be a meme. Wow. So Holly could be either one of these two girls. The champion, no way. The champion.
I've never seen the champion.
And you know what's going on with the champion. So Faria was supposed to defend May 11th, Connecticut, against Heather Hardy, former boxing world champion.
Yeah.
Hardy now pulled out with an injury, so that card is now turned into the Jimmy Rivera, Daniel Strauss card.
Connecticut, right?
Connecticut.
Well, that's where Bellator always took those two.
Mohegan Sun, exactly.
Yeah.
I like Daniel Strauss.
Didn't he just get into a real?
Well, that was a few years ago.
Bad motorcycle accident.
That was a few years ago where
Yeah.
he broke his neck and had to relearn how to walk.
Right.
And yeah, no, that was a rough recovery.
Because he was, I think he just lost his title, or he didn't lose his title, and they had to release it. Something happened where he, like, it was bad.
Yeah, he had a rough few years, went and fought with XFC. He's already had one in BKFC, so yeah, he had to relearn how to walk. It was quite the process following him across social media for those years. And on the other side, you got Jimmy Rivera, who was top 10 UFC and decided to walk away and give BKFC a try.
Didn't they offer to give him more
Rivera
money?
was like going
Yeah.
downside.
That again was the star power that he's
Yeah,
had.
when he left, he was what, 3-fight losing streak,
Was he?
something like that.
I can't remember. I know he was towards the top of the division.
There was another guy that just mentioned. There was another guy that fought out his contract, won his last fight, and he mentioned just recently that BKFC gave him more money, offered him more money to fight for them. I don't know who it was. It was one of the Contender Series guys.
Oh, Lenny
Won in the UFC, had a winning record in the UFC.
Lenny, yeah.
There's a couple guys. You'll see that BKFC has some extra capital that they've been giving Triller. closed a deal, it looked like, with an entity in Abu Dhabi. So they have some money to play with in the free agent market.
Did you see that? How much money they got? They did like the ownership, right? Of Triller, they took it over or something.
That there's a South Korean company also that merged with Triller and Triller TV that used to be Fight TV. Yeah.
Yeah, damn. 5 and 7.
So Julian Lane.
Let me bang, bro.
Julian Lane.
Got to come out and take on a very tough tactical Russian.
What was Jimmy Rivera? Who's
Oh, he was he had 3 and 4. He had lost 3 of the last 4. It was Cody Stamann that he had beat, but he had lost to Sterling and Jan, so he lost to the 2 world champions.
Who's Julian Lane fighting?
Julian Lane's fighting Kurdanov. He's a tough Russian. This guy throws fire, gets in the pocket, big puncher.
Going to sleep.
Is this the one from here that trains out of here? They were real high on one of the guys that trains at Jackson.
Oh, no, this isn't Ishmael.
Oh, okay, that's the one. And they were like super high on him, and then I didn't hear anything if he's fighting or not.
You know, actually, that night after the Prospect Series, and when I talked to Dave the week later in Florida, they hadn't signed anybody off the card.
Wow.
They did not sign any of those guys. I don't know if Ishmael will be back or not. I know that he had said his focus was MMA, so he even wanted to use this to advance his profile either way. Before that, his fight was on LFA on UFC Fight Pass, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have him back, but they haven't formally announced it. Most recent news for BKFC to Albuquerque was Brittany Horton. Even though she lost her debut, she now did get a 3-fight deal from them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Just this week announced.
How did she get that?
They need to add depth to their women ranks.
But it's like...
You lost your debut. How do you get that? I think it's literally they need depth to their women's ranks, and maybe they're not getting the turnout at the tryouts that they're looking for from the women's divisions. So if you're a willing participant, that might be what was needed
If you're
to get there.
body, is that what you're saying?
Basically, ready, willing, and able.
You'll go in there and couple hits and it's done.
Well, even Carla Alvarez, who was victorious on that side, she hasn't been back in there, and I think she was just fighting MMA last week in Texas for Peak Fighting Championships.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm not fully sure, but and especially that fight was at I believe 125. Brittany goes down and is able to compete at 115. Be much better for her. They'll be much more her size.
Yeah. These guys are at 170?
They're like, yeah, they're like 5'10", somewhere around there.
So what round are you calling this fight?
First round.
First round.
I'm going to go second or third.
Yeah, I'll go second.
I'll say third. What do you think?
First round.
Yeah, first
Oh,
round.
Josh.
You guys are too big.
Don't listen to Josh. Josh don't know nothing.
How about we make a gentleman's bet, like that gentleman's sweep he was talking about? How does that work? Just a
It's just a
handshake?
bunch of pussies. That's what the gentleman said. I don't understand. So, you guys are sports people. Well, more sports people than us. How is it that you guys have the play-in? What is that? We tried to talk about it a while back, right? The play-in for the NBA. Like, what is that?
Okay, so do you want like the little numbers and breakdowns of how they format it, or the weird answer?
The weird answer.
The weird answer is best.
Oh, okay, let's go with the weird answer. Just in case John Morant would have came back from that suspension after 25 games, this play-in gave the Grizzlies a fighting chance to still make the playoffs.
And I thought it was for LeBron.
Well, it's for any of them. It's for LeBron. It's for Joel Embiid. It's for Giannis. Think about Giannis missed how many games down the stretch with that calf that's costing them the playoffs right now. They're basically trying to give an extra entryway to any of these stars. It's a one-game make it or take it. If you are, one of the best players in the league and you've missed all this time and you're prime and ready at the end, maybe you'll win and get in.
It's a crappy way to extend the playoffs. It's just like the first 4 games of the NCAA tournament.
Right.
You don't need those games.
We don't need an in-season tournament.
No.
I think
True.
they're trying to gain viewership.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to create
it
some
was-
sort of excitement.
It was very competitive, though. A lot of people wanted the money, man. At least
Oh, so they give them money?
Oh, yeah.
For the in-season tournament, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the winner's got like $1 million each. Losers got like $500,000 in that final game.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know that.
They're trying to gain viewership, man. You know what I mean?
You gonna open your mouth over there?
Hey, my point was.
You want to pop off and say something about basketball? Nothing, no? Oh, we were just talking about the in tournament and basketball.
I want to watch the women's this year.
Oh, no Max Holloway. You should have heard this dude. He was running his mouth the whole fight.
Oh, yeah.
And
Charles Oliveira.
oh, Lord, don't talk about him.
Yeah, she took
That's
I know.
boyfriend.
She raised the bar.
Who?
Women.
Hey, we all had a memorial for Do Bronx after that fight.
Charles Oliveira is dead to me.
They had one other star on it.
Dead to me.
You get out of his guillotine and it's over.
Her, man.
You get out of his guillotine and he's done for. How did he miss his move?
Here we go. We said round one, 2 minutes. You're gonna lose. It's not. It's not. That's her god.
I don't think many of us noticed.
God. Yeah, bullshit.
Didn't notice at the time.
Called him her cousin.
Did you notice Sarukio punching that guy in the crowd when he was coming out? No, I knew it happened, but I didn't see it happen. The athletic commission has withheld his pay. I think he has to go before the athletic commission next week.
Yeah, no.
Somebody else does too from that card.
Diego Lopez for jumping over the cage.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
So what happened?
Diego Lopez didn't get paid either. How he hopped over the cage and jumped over and talked to Dana White and Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, the commission's withholding his pay. That he broke the rule.
Supposed to jump over the cage.
Well, I've seen that happen how many times. Max did it too.
My guess is they'll tell him not to do it anymore.
And
He'll be
then
fine.
a little piece
Yeah.
of his money
Yeah.
and slap him.
Max did it.
Already a big shot.
Different guys get treated differently.
Get him!
I was just straight out.
You gotta make it out of this round. You gotta prove Josh wrong.
Let's just be glad he didn't knock himself out. I've
thought he's been knocking himself out, yeah.
before, and they are heavy steel cables. These aren't your normal ones. They are bigger and thicker and harder.
Wow. That's weird. Why would they put those on there?
Just the way that to keep the structure, how it is to keep it tight, and because you're not really bouncing off of it like the traditional, they're more literally just keeping you in. They're engaging you.
Oh, the round is over. Both of you are wrong, gentlemen.
He's done. He's done.
No knockdown. No knockdown.
You know what else too? Is because of the dirty boxing clinches, I would guess. They want, if they're up against the ropes, dirty boxing, you know what I mean? They kind of want a little bit more.
Are you
Push them through.
Are you more of a fan of the smaller ring? Or do you like the bigger one? You've seen both, right?
I've seen both. I've been in front of both. It's maximum violence when you're in that smaller one. There's literally nowhere to go. So I'm almost surprised they don't use it more, but you get to see the tacticalness of the sport. And this, unfortunately, is the sad scene. In between rounds now, they're interviewing Dave Mundell, and he's the middleweight champion, and he's so thirsty to get after Mike Perry, he has now designed his own Platinum BKFC belt to try to get after Perry. That's not the actual BKFC title across him.
It's his OnlyFans belt.
The one from Stanford.
Oh, that's what I saw.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, but that's what I
definitely.
was saying though. Like, don't you think that maybe because of the cables and the tighter ropes is maybe because of the dirty boxing and the clinching that goes on in this?
Oh, this fight's over. Julian Lane.
You guys got that one. You guys should have bet.
It should actually be.
And you did it.
We did bet. It was
Where's bet? A gentleman bullshit bet?
Yeah.
What is that?
$1.
That means you gotta get up and give me a beer.
Alright, I'll get you one.
Right on.
I'll get you one.
Cardano,
Let's
left arm injury,
Asshole
fight's
about the
over.
first two.
Can't continue.
Isn't it when they stop in between rounds? That's actually the second round, or is that the first?
I think it's first. It's gonna be first.
Still the first.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember which way it went.
Well, wait. Let's see what they say and see if Carlisle's right or
The
not.
second hasn't started.
Yeah, it
right?
didn't start, so it should be 2 minutes around one.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Don't look.
Just took me a minute to think about
He's
it.
putting some sauce in your beer.
Look it up.
I didn't put salt. Just had a little cheese.
Some sauce.
Is that it?
How do you drink 10W30, bro?
I have to. I gotta go get the kids.
I can't.
Bet he heard it
drink
when he
10W30,
went to the
dude.
ropes.
Horrible.
I think you read it the second time.
Could be. Yeah, these are zero tonight. And then I'm gonna call him here in a little bit and see if he needs a ride or not.
I had a
If he
shot
doesn't, then I have.
Dennis and Jameson for St. Patty's. Oh my god, it was horrible.
The darker the better.
Oh, can't do that, brother. Sorry, I can't do
You know,
that.
there's this one time I
Sometimes
had
the light ones are good too.
called Mad Hatter, and what it is 3/4 Angry Orchard, 1/4, or no, I'm sorry, 3/4 Guinness, 1/4 Angry Orchard, and Chambord on the top. It's called a Mad Hatter. Try that sometime. It'll fuck your world up.
We don't need that in my life.
Nope.
Nothing extra.
No.
Yeah, that's an extra drink right there. So what happened?
We had no shots.
Did you heard
The
this?
worst I do is have a couple twisted tea.
Yep. Round number 1.
Somebody said they-
Told you.
now.
TKO.
Look at his arm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with his arm, bro?
He broke his, he tore his,
Oh, when he fell on those hard ropes, I bet. Maybe.
Possibly. He fell 2 different times, so something dislocated or tore.
In pride, they sat back and they. It was one of the good fighters too, one of the Rua brothers. Man, and everybody's like, "Why did you fall that way?" And he tried to catch himself, and his elbow just went. It was gross.
So you're just posting on
Twitter.
Hey
Got
Josh,
Twitter, got the
let's take
website.
a little quick break real quick. Let's get up, stretch. We're getting closer to the end. And I need to call my son to see if he's really at home.
Alright, we
I've
out.
never gotten on Twitter before.
We'll be right back.
It's not a great place.
Do this for Duke City. They riding with me. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. This for the 505, always ready to ride. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Every time I come around, I'm repping my town. I'm some red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Any place I touch down, I'm always talking about that. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Red paint, cross the yellow flag. This is Z again, with the ghetto swag. Ain't no ghetto pads. We throw them dupes up. Niggas saying do something. We from the Duke, what? I'm with the Lobos, for pistols like an Aggie. City colors, baby mama can't stand me. Whole family, every night's the same. Red and yellow look, looking like the lights.
Dapper Barber Parlor, located at 5836 Osuna Road in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Walk-ins are welcome or call ahead to book your appointment 505-884-4647.
CageMinds.com, your #1 news source for combat sports and sports entertainment.
at prom, and Monaco said he's not even giving him time to get some. He has to be home by 10:30.
Now, were you notified about what kind of prom entertainment they were going to have?
No,
Just checking.
this is a school of freaks and geeks, so let me tell you. And I said it's on the record. My son's part of that group, and I love him to death.
What?
Whitney, no one needs a right.
Speaking of freaks and geeks,
Yeah.
coming out with a
Wow.
We saw OnlyFans capes, we saw Bible verses, and now we're seeing whips and chains. This dude used to be a professional boxer, world title champion, and Lord, what is he doing?
Coming out with a dog collar on because he's a dog. Now turning to.
Is that what
It looked more like the sub to the master type collar, rather than I'm a bad dog.
You know what I saw? I saw that dodgeball movie.
Yes, where they get the wrong uniform. Yes,
that's what I saw, just right there. I was like,
I thought it fit Carlisle's. That's a bad dog.
He wins. Riggs.
Which, if you look at pictures, yeah, absolutely, you think he wins, right?
Yeah.
But this dude is a very good boxer.
Yeah.
Former world champion, like you said, fought Canelo.
Yeah, he wouldn't. You couldn't tell in this.
And I want to say he went the distance with Canelo. Like, he didn't lose, lose bad.
Wow.
But this is the guy I was shocked to see actually compete.
Jeremiah Riggs, 2-2 BKFC. He's got some experience. He's another hard puncher. I believe that Daniel Alvarez, who won earlier in the night, is in his corner. He's got a team full of bare knuckle fighters with that one. And I think that's also Alan Belcher in his corner, the beard.
And this is the other guy's debut, huh?
Yeah, Angulo's first bare knuckle fight.
In bare knuckle.
He's a big favorite.
He should.
Minus
He should be,
323.
being that he's a world champion. But
Minus
again,
323.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
former world boxing champion. Like, he's not bullshit.
Oh yes, I like.
Well,
Angulo is.
he came out with
You can't say it twice in a row.
what do we call it?
A BDSM
Yeah.
dog collar.
A BDSM dog collar. That's what he came out with.
He's came out with that his whole career.
Well, it looked like he was coming out.
So his whole career he's always came out with it. It says perro and it has like the spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's came out his whole career like that.
Look for little suspects in that.
Bro, I don't know, man. If I saw that guy wearing that, I'm still not gonna call him it. I'm still not gonna say, hey, bro, you're a little fruity. Usually I'd say worse, but you know, yes, sir.
Wow.
Nothing like getting hit with a bare knuckle.
But welcome to the
Angulo
show.
stuck in the clinch. You know what? Blasted with right hands.
He's not a stick and move kind of fighter.
See, and that hurts.
The
us because
defensive
you can't
guys.
block with your gloves.
Yeah.
You ain't gloves,
No.
you know. So
And
But he could take a
the holding right there like that. The way
holding his hair.
He's grabbing onto his hair.
oh yeah,
He has his
Man, I don't think the ref even sees that.
yeah. I was gonna say, is that legal?
It's going in it. He's grabbing it and letting it go. Very good of continuing it. But Riggs is taking some shots himself.
Yeah.
Angulo's just trying to keep his head down, but he's eating these rights. Beat the
Damn, they're just.
He keeps
Riggs is getting hit though. He's wobbled up. Riggs is backing up now.
Yeah.
Angulo's
He hurt
getting
him.
other shots.
Angulo could punch, man.
Angulo's getting chopped in his clinch again though.
This is.
He used to.
This onslaught. He's not used to this feeling though.
Oh, that's the brother. The one, Sanchez.
Yeah.
Abel Sanchez's brother that lives around the corner.
Right hand on the pipe.
He used to have big battles with Triple G.
Yeah.
Like, it was like epic battles. They would like talk
Man,
about
really
that
would
much
be a good thing to have Abel
dropped him.
Sanchez's brother in it. He comes
It's over. It's over. What a comeback.
Wow.
It looked like
like Craig Wheeler at the
Abel Saxton's brother, the trainer, for Triple K.
You know what? I don't think he knew what to expect, and then when they started fighting, he was like, "Oh shit!" So
Let me sock this dude. Bam!
that's the big difference between this and boxing. Like when the boxers come in, that's why I was so shocked to see Austin do what he did.
Yeah.
I really was. No matter if it was against.
He was holding his hair, dude,
Yeah.
for a lot of those. That's,
Yeah.
that's chicken shit stuff for me, if you ask me.
well, that's why you go short, right?
Yeah, that's why I come here. Yeah, don't let them do that. Don't let them do it. You got the braids. We saw it with Benson Henderson back in the day. They'll grab it. They'll use it.
Yep.
See how short that was? Man.
Beak.
Oh, God. Right straight. Just, and he's out of shape. He's not.
Right on.
This is not Prime Angulo. This is retired Angulo trying to get a payday. He has to pay child support.
And breaking news: Conor McGregor is now a owner, right?
A
Correct?
partner in the BKFC. McGregor's
So is it a
Sports and
partner or an
Entertainment.
owner? Because those are two different words.
Looks like he's invested.
It looks like he has an ownership stake.
Ownership stake.
So what do you guys think of that? Do you think he asked the UFC for ownership?
That may have come up at some point in time. That probably didn't interest him in the least. I jokingly said to Micah when they announced that they're going to regret not putting him on the TKO board with The Rock.
Yes.
They probably will not. I don't know how much.
I think he would be a good crossover.
Maybe. I think he'll be huge for
He's
BKFC.
marketable in anything.
Gigantic. Look,
He's got 2 fights left. Supposedly left on his UFC deal. We know 303
Yeah.
will be one.
and then Max. This is what Barbara Don wanted. Max. And him
If he's
too.
not willing to sign another one, I bet UFC doesn't fight him again.
And just lets him. Well, there's
Yeah,
an expiration.
Right now, I think with the way the contracts are now, after a year, he would be free. But you could hold him for that long. I don't know that they're willing, that they're going to be all that excited to let him go. Because with the ownership stake, you know he's going to want to fight once or twice for BKFC at some point. I don't know that UFC wants to do any favors by letting him go early or letting him go ahead and fight out the contract.
It's
so
hard
he
to
can go
say
do
that.
Right?
About Ed Pedro now.
And not only that, but is there really heavy drug testing in this?
I've been a bit.
I don't think so. On that.
I don't think so. I don't think they've got to that level yet.
State says,
Yeah, that's
right?
what he did right
Yeah.
now.
I said
Well, you saw the last
He's not
BKFC,
right.
There was these two guys that were Vikings. That's what I
Who?
said. The
The
Viking
big old
match,
giant dudes.
You know when I see when people are taking roids. You know what I mean? Shoulders get huge, the traps get enormous, man. Both of those guys are just out there like look completely roided out. I don't know. I'm not trying to say that I know what's going on with the BKFC, drug policy or how they test or whatever, but I don't know. That's kind of hard to believe that was all natural, especially at those guys' ages as well.
And, Connor, if you've had the misfortune of seeing the Roadhouse remake, he is huge.
He's jacked.
Freaking huge in that.
Did you? That's what I was gonna ask. Did you guys like the movie? I mean,
I didn't hate it.
Roadhouse.
I didn't hate it as long as you forget there was ever an original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
but in all honesty, if you look at the first one,
The first one is cheesy. It does not hold up nearly as well as people think it does.
I like the first one.
Who doesn't like
grab him by the throat, come on, and
80s, 90s classic movies?
I do.
That's my favorite. And you know what? That's exactly. It's kind of like what that movie was. It kind
was
of went
fun.
back to that. Stop watching.
If it wasn't for Family Guy, I might not love Roadhouse as much if Peter wasn't walking around kicking things for a whole episode. Roadhouse. Yeah, exactly.
And so Don brought it up. There's also another avenue for McGregor. Tell him you're a spin-off.
Well, I was thinking, that they could probably make a whole movie off of his character. And maybe
backstory.
Okay, like the backstory with the Ben Brandt, the person who's in prison, you know what I mean? How did they get together? How did they get mixed up? You know what I mean? And I just think of this as Conor McGregor being marketable all over the world, you know what I mean? With just about anything, obviously. So could you see a Knox spin-off?
I would be more surprised if we don't see one than if we do.
And he said he doesn't like acting. I don't know how much of that was lip service, just saying, because he also mentioned he was going back into camp, and but I understood now why he didn't go at 300. He had those commitments.
Yeah.
Well,
think of this as well, though. I mean, okay, acting,
You gotta
right?
get rid of him now.
I don't know how much he got paid to do the Roadhouse movie, but if you're getting paid,
talk about
$50 million
Mr.
for a
Jack.
25-minute fight, as opposed to 3 months of production or whatever it takes to make the movie.
He got a
He's
doctor
probably
to
thinking,
sign
well,
a
I'm getting
prescription when he was like
screwed on
19
this
years
comparatively,
old.
you know what I mean?
Really?
So,
Yeah,
I
19
don't
or
know.
20. He was young.
And you know what I mean?
shit.
To ever get to the $20 million movie acting
he have a glass
thing,
jar?
could he?
I
I think he can.
I don't know, man.
To me,
I think they have
Roadhouse.
to be much more versatile.
Hold on, how many Fast and Furious movies are we on now? Like 12 or 13? You can do 2 or 3 Knox movies easily for Amazon. I mean, come on.
So it's one of those.
I think that's what he's
for,
right?
See, that's what I said. I thought about it right away.
And he's probably all
Oh, see,
CRT'd
no.
out right now.
A spin-off. Of his character alone, you know what I mean? Backstory, prequel, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? But that's how marketable he is.
So tell me this though, was that movie more fun once his character hit the screen?
Yes.
Like the craziness and all that, even him jumping out of the window and laughing, I was dying. I was like, oh my god, this would be what a crazy fuck would do.
Yeah.
And it set the tone for his character. I thought it played out good, and then him walking out of the hospital.
At the end,
So you get the prequel, and then you get his next story.
Right, the sequel, sure.
But and people will watch.
oh yeah, definitely.
Wasn't it one of the highest grossing movies, including the Coming to America?
I think it was the highest debut ever on Amazon Prime.
Right. So, and that was partly him.
And honestly, the only problem I had with the movie is it was called Roadhouse. If they call it anything else, people look at it differently.
Yes.
I agree with that.
I can agree with that.
I mean, and I get there was enough similarities. I understand why they did it, but they probably did themselves a disservice. You just call it something else, and keep the story exactly how they kept it.
Yeah, but look how many people tuned in just because of Roadhouse. What if you get these older people?
True.
I watched it because of I love the old movies.
Sure. But if you watched it because of the original Roadhouse, my guess is you probably did.
I liked it, man. I don't like when people do it
In the
and
90s,
way
that
too
was-
many
that was-
similarities.
yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
True, the boring.
Yep. That was
You know,
my
there's a little bit more money involved, you know what I mean? You got the super rich owner, which you had before as well too, but you know what I mean? Like,
There's some little nods too, like but beside the bookstore where he got dropped off at the thing, there was a laundromat or something. That was the Double Deuce. Which is the name of the bar in the original. Yeah, you also had little subtle things like that too, a nod to the original.
hey, what about them not having Sam Hunt, man? Some cameo of Sam Hunt. I mean, come on.
And I was expecting a little more of those type things.
Yeah.
But I like the story where they kept showing his character fight that guy, but they never showed the end, and I thought it was over. Like I thought he got knocked out.
They filmed all the ending. In the ending, he dies. Weird, but I believe he died because they brought in the paramedics. Me and Michael were there when they filmed that.
Wow, they changed it.
Yeah. Well, they just never showed it all at the end. But remember when they had Gyllenhaal come out a couple of times?
Jake
the early
died in
prelims.
the movie.
At the end of that fight, when the referee pulls him off, the paramedics come in. They're hitting him with the zappers and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, they never got to that part of it in the movie. But
but they mentioned that he killed his buddy and stuff like that. And I like how his character turned kind of like Patrick, where Patrick was like had to kill that guy that pulled the gun on him. I don't think people remember that. And Sam was telling him like, you had no choice. Like, don't let that eat you. And you could see his character, it was eating himself because of that MMA fight. And then I knew it once they fucked with that kid. I said he's gonna lose his marbles.
Yeah.
And he did that. I agree with you. I think if it would have been something different named, or maybe even I don't know. But
I think they did a good job with the marketing, man.
Yeah.
They did a good job marketing it. You know what I mean? They called it Roadhouse. All the old people are like, oh, Roadhouse.
Yeah.
You know, Conor McGregor, cash grab, Jake Gyllenhaal, A-list actor. In my in my book.
Don't even have
He's
his
had a
age.
lot of good movies.
He's
You know,
probably.
they did a
yeah,
good
he
job
was
with it.
supposed to-
I liked it. And I was entertained.
Yeah, usually
I
it's
watch
supposed to
movies
hit.
on entertainment value anyway, you know what I mean? I'm not a humongous critic, so
The way I would judge a movie is when I watch it again, and I would watch it again.
I've seen it twice already.
Have you?
Me too. Over under.
See, our age, yeah.
This thing lasting
Look at Ben Rothwell compared to what
lasting 2.5 rounds.
That's what you.
I'll go under on 2.5 rounds.
And Todd Duffy looks like completely different than what I saw. I didn't even realize that was until you mentioned his name, and I said, "Oh shit!" that
Looks
is
like a
that guy."
Viking. Looks all
Yeah.
PRT'd up.
In his 20s, he got it.
But one thing is he's never taken a punch well.
No, I think he's gonna lay him out.
Did you take the over or the under?
Under 2.5 rounds.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, we're going under
He
2.5
has a
rounds.
glass jaw. If he don't knock you out right away, then he usually gets put to sleep.
And I tell you what, Ben Rothwell is not a guy that goes to sleep.
Winner here should get the winner of the next fight. So heavyweight title opportunity on the line here. Oh, wow. Yep. Duffy got hit with one, and it got him so startled he forgot what sport he was in. Cover it up. Like, don't round it
I did too. I was like, jump on
But
him.
this was always the knock on Todd Duffy. If he can't get you out quick enough, gone.
Again.
And I
He
don't.
said no more.
He just said no more.
No mas.
He just said, I don't want none.
I think he just said it was a push down.
Wow, no.
No. He should have.
No.
You're
Oh
right.
yeah.
Shoulder.
What's wrong with your shoulder?
He's blaming his shoulder.
It's your fucking vagina. Dude, he got smashed. That's all it was. Come on.
Yeah, he's like, what the
The second time he got hit, he's like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah. He got hit in the mouth and he said, oh. He said what that girl said, oh shit.
The last
She
one,
got it.
the other one was on the side of the head, right?
See this first one.
Watch.
That was kind of a push.
Oh yeah, he did. He just pushed him.
I think she got comfortable. Rolled up. A stinger on your head, his shoulder. He said his shoulder, he has a stinger in his shoulder. This dude did not want any piece of Ben Rothwell. I think he's the next heavyweight champion, to be honest with you, for BKFC. Micah?
Rothwell.
Yeah.
Rockwell?
Yeah.
I can see that coming.
In BKFC?
Yeah. Whoever the winner next, the next winner.
He's 3-0 now.
I want to hear his promo. He's getting better at the pro wrestling promo. He's strange as shit, but it's very, very interesting. A stinger in his shoulder. Micah, do you need an outlet?
Yeah, you guys got one I can reach?
I think we got one right here. Though.
Look, there's one here.
Oh.
There's one right here on this other side.
What do you think?
I can switch with you if you need.
What do you think of this one?
This was a joke.
Okay.
Not sure what happened.
Yeah, me either.
Stinger in your shoulder and you get punched and get knocked on your ass.
Oh, okay. You should have stretched.
Yeah, can you do me a favor?
I thought you were leaving it
That-
myself.
Can you hand me that,
Dom has the heater off and the air on.
I don't want to be around. Nothing's on.
I'm giving you a hard time, Dom.
It's cold or what?
There's not too many reasons that I don't go riding on the weekend on a sunny day. She comes over, it's like, hey guys, I can't go play. Baby's home.
Here it goes.
Oh, he's pissed. So Ben's pissed.
Cool, thank you.
All right, cool.
Ben looks like he's going to celebrate by eating a wild boar.
Yeah, see, he's not happy.
He's like 300 pounds, huh? 3 something?
He's huge.
Has to be.
There it is.
Ben Rothwell got clipped.
The first time he got knocked down and the fight was over, it was already over there. I just needed to get one good connection and this was a good clean knockout. So I can't control my opponent. I'm sorry to everybody, man. I came here to perform. You can see the work I put in. I came here to
You can see the work.
I did a lot of eating for this fight.
Hey, he usually has a bigger loha.
That is true. That is true.
He does usually have a bigger loha. So that
Well, no
is
UFC
for Ben Rothwell.
266 weight limit here. He came in at like 275 for this
I've
one.
seen him fight Keith Jardine was on the card. He was on the card. No, and I'm talking in Iowa.
In Iowa?
In Iowa, they had a square cage / ring. Freaking weird, right?
Was it Victory?
No, it was, what was the Monty Cox? Or something like that. No, it was the manager of Matt Hughes and all those guys.
Oh, okay.
In Iowa.
All right.
I remember seeing him fight, Keith fought, Diego fought. It was in a gymnasium, dude. It was like ridiculously stupid. That's where I first saw him.
Back in the day.
Way back in the day. No regulation. It was stupid. But he's one of them older dudes that but heavyweights. These light guys, for some weird reason,
You know-
once that speed goes away, everything falters. These heavyweights, they can keep going.
I don't know if we're necessarily wrong about Duffy having a stinger, because he really did. It looked like hit the back of his neck quite hard on that first knockdown against those steel cables. He might have been effed up after that first one.
But he blamed that because he stood back up and wanted to fight. Why didn't he complain then? I think it was that second punch.
Well, I think he was trying to tough it out, and I think the second when he came down, I think he did land on his arm, bracing it, and that probably aggravated it more. But Mike is right; he hit the ropes hard, and not only did he hit his neck, but his arm kind of flopped around the rope and kind of slammed down on it.
So have they ever given you guys a reason why they use this steel versus a rope? Because boxing rings are ropes. They're not steel. They have some give.
I would have to guess it's the clinch. When they're pushing people up against that rope.
We haven't asked, but I know that it was specially made for them. Like that ring made specially developed, designed their own battleground.
I would assume they didn't want any give, so it didn't look like a pro wrestling ring or even a boxing ring. And you kind of probably wanted it to simulate a cage, but you wanted it to be different from MMA, so you didn't want a cage.
Right.
That would be my guess.
Or not the alligator pit. That was one of the original ideas.
I remember that.
For the UFC. Believe it or not, they wanted to put alligators around the so they couldn't run out. How wild would that have changed everything? UFC 1 with
It's all fun and games until a fighter forgets their alligators down there and walks a little too close, and all of a sudden you got a one-legged fighter.
And that's just wild. And then one of them, the other design was they wanted it to shock the guy if you touch it. I'm like,
that would be good.
Like, what kind of wildness were they thinking back then? I mean, I get it. They weren't really.
Hey, man,
That's what they should do with power slap. Electrify the floor, so when you fall back, not only are you getting knocked on your butt, but you're getting electrocuted.
So you can wake back up?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there's that forward stout. Ray looks for
we
it.
can't find it.
And I like stouts, by the way, so don't be fucking.
That's motor oil, dude.
Grow some hair on your chest.
10W30. That's what that is.
And warts.
No, that's where one of the buddies that comes to
just
watch
like,
the fights, that's where he works.
The Walmart.
And he went and looked for it. And
It's like
he-
syrup, bro.
They have his whiskey, but I guess an apple whiskey.
Has a marble?
His, that
Shake
is
it,
disgusting.
that's
When they start adding flavor to it.
Yeah, apple was his.
The,
apple.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
The original
Yeah,
flavor
yeah,
ain't that good either.
You have to break it all up.
But
That
this
shit's
is
too thick,
actually
dude.
from a brewery out there. So I kind of wanted to see what it tastes like. Here we go. Is this next?
No.
No, we're called main event. We're heavyweight
This is
title
the
fight
heavyweight,
first.
right?
Yeah.
And
This
then
is Hunt
whoever
Terrell.
is here.
Hey, so what was
Fights
that
Rothwell.
fit that he threw on for the press conference?
Because he was on the B side or something.
Yeah, he was on the wrong side or in the guy's chair or something like that, and they were telling him to move, and he was.
Lorenzo Hunt is another cerebral assassin, a master of mind games. He was taking the champ's chair. This is for the champ. The champ sits here. So he was sitting where the champ sits. He's the
Yeah, we saw a
champ.
small
2
clip
division
of it, and I
champion.
just was like,
Pound for pound number 1.
I like it.
Agitator all the way.
I like it.
It's getting in Mick Terrell's head. You have to have, that side that sells the fight, and Mick Terrell's a big,
after
powerful
that, I was like, I
puncher,
wanna see
but
this. You know what I mean? Just that little fit that he threw.
Well, that's what you were
First
talking
time
about.
they're fighting.
You asked me if I watched the press conference,
Yes.
right? No, I missed it yesterday.
So he was explaining what it was all about. So he
So
says
somebody
this
was
is the
complaining?
champ. This is the champ's chair. So the challenger was sitting in the champ's chair, like, oh, well, this is the champ's chair. I'm the champ. You know, so
Get it in the head.
Two-division world champion, vacating 2 titles to come up.
Yeah, and that is true. Like, he is the champion. He's the double champ.
Most fights in BKFC history, most knockouts in BKFC history.
So do you consider him the king of bare knuckle? Or is it Mike Perry?
Mike Perry's Conor McGregor, while Lorenzo Hunt is Alexander Volkanovski.
That's a good comparison. And I can see that.
You know, I loved how Volkanovski made so much fun of what Tapario was talking about, you know, about him being old and all that. That was incredible, dude. Like, well, he was just having fun with it, you know what I mean? It wasn't no mind games. He was just kind of poking fun at what he was saying, you know what I'm saying?
Did you watch his yard work videos recently?
That's what I was talking about.
There's the old man videos. There's the yard work videos. He definitely has an entertaining mind.
He does. I liked it.
Does Thiago Alves have a chance?
He has a chance, but I don't like it a lot. I'd consider him a sizable underdog here just because of the amount of abuse Mike Perry is willing to eat in one of these fights.
How about this fight, though? Like, what do you think about this fight that's coming up next?
Lorenzo Hunt's smaller, but he's faster, so it makes it entertaining.
What was his weight?
Like 242. So I feel like he came in way too big. I feel a lot better about Mick Terrell's odds than I thought I would because Lorenzo has tried so hard to be the same size.
Lorenzo Hunt is a gangster. I seen him at Cake after he won over there in Kingley.
Yeah.
And he goes, I thought this is Albuquerque. You guys are crazy. Nobody has fucked with us. Nobody's fucked with me over here.
They're not gonna fuck with you. They're gonna put a gun in your mouth and
me and my buddy are looking at him because he has his belt while he's walking around Cake and with that, and we're like, yeah, nobody's gonna mess with you.
They usually don't with the fighters if they know who they are, but honestly, the way War was talking, I thought for sure, I was like, man, this is the wrong place to be when he was running his mouth.
Well, like you said, he went into the back room.
Stood in the back, didn't move around until they moved him. Where were they staying? What's their host hotel when they come in?
Oh, they're somewhere in Uptown.
Oh, they stay in Uptown there?
Probably on an embassy or something, right?
So do they move the fighters very similar to all the other promotions where they get the vans and do everything, call times, all that?
Yeah, they're very similar to all that because I know that they had one group of fighters at the Sheraton, and the first time that they were here at Tingley, everyone stayed at the Sheraton. This last time, they had half at the Sheraton and half at another hotel to avoid people from fighting in the lobby.
Were they fighting with each other?
They weren't fighting, but it was just getting more vocal.
To argue and the Sheraton.
Enough to make the guests say, you know, we love having your business. We welcome the weigh-in to be here, but what can we do about some of this tension? And they're like, well, we'll separate the guys. And there was a lot of people also. I think on this last card that were local, so they need to be at the hotels. Anyway,
they didn't get them rooms?
No, they did get them rooms.
Oh,
just some of them had told me they're like, yeah, if I'm just gonna come over here and shower, maybe, but I'd just kind of rather be at home.
Yeah.
For the ease of it.
Yep. And it was crazy because we'd get the guys the rooms here that were fighting locally also, and they wouldn't take them, except for after, like after the after party. You know what I mean? Like. Then if they had their wives with them and stuff, they'd go to the rooms there or their side pieces, whatever else they had. You know.
So we're talking about for privacy or relaxation and recovery.
Right. But for the most part, most of them want to go home if they're local.
Exactly. When Dodson won the world title, right back to his house for a pizza party. That's what it was. Whole family, everybody right back to his house for a pizza party. I think They went and got the pizza. Well, he ran downtown for his nightclub obligation and got right out the back door within 20, 30 minutes to make it home while they were getting there with the food.
Just to show up, make an appearance, wave. And that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, these guys aren't really staying there. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. No, he probably ate pizza with his kids and then played video games on that. Yeah, I guarantee you that's what he did.
Oh, yeah, no, Dodson, yeah, no. There was quite a bit of fires that went back there with him.
You know what's crazy is I don't understand why he's not a big Twitch person. Like, as big as Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius Johnson is huge on that.
On Twitch?
Yeah, and I'm like...
for video game play?
For video games and all that. And I'm like, John would be gigantic if Demetrius, boring Demetrius, that people, and he's one of the greatest of all times in MMA. And...
I don't think John devotes enough time to his gaming to really sit there to focus in on it. Like I know, like Landon Venata is huge in the racing Twitch world. Like he has a whole gaming setup. He's deep in it on it. But I don't. Dodson does a lot of things. He's coaching with his Nobody's Villain team. Yeah. He's kind of busy dude, so I know he likes the game, but I don't know if he focuses in like how DJ is there for hours. Robert Whitaker is someone that when he's not in Fight Cap, you can find him on his Twitch stream all the time.
Even Jens Balder is real big on those as well.
Oh, well, this is more of like what we're doing, stream on Twitch. Yeah.
But and then when they introduced him as getting the Hall of Fame, first dude should get it. He should have been in a long time ago. The first lightweight champion. One of the nicest guys ever, too. How long does this fight last?
I don't think it lasts long, but... Yeah, I just feel like this one doesn't last long.
Where did he start off? What was his original discipline?
So he was like a karate guy.
Okay.
That's what he told me he grew up doing in a dojo was karate. And
so
then
he can have a future in karate combat.
Yeah, he can transition over to karate combat. He was an MMA fighter. I want to think all of his wins came by knockout and all of his losses come by submission. So he was like, I'm not a wrestler, I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy. Bare knuckle was right up his alley.
Yep. What do you guys think about that karate combat?
I like the thought of karate combat when it was karate combat. I don't mind them trying to enhance the product, but the more they make it look like MMA, the less it's karate combat. And then this last event, they did like karate versus Muay Thai, but if you're doing karate rules, it's a little bit weird to me. And then they have their pit submission grappling.
What the actual That's kind of strange. I mean,
I just see the juggernaut. That's all I saw. I don't know what you're seeing.
So Micah's
focused.
Do you feel like they're trying to figure out how to get more viewership by doing all this?
Oh yeah, they are definitely trying to get into other niches. They're looking at the success of one championship. Oh, we can do grappling and our fighting on the same platform.
I don't know.
That would be his wife.
It is his wife.
That is his wife. I've met her a few times.
For you. He's my executive producer. And next time you're in Albuquerque, I'll welcome you in and you can talk to Josh.
It's not pro wrestling.
I'm not worried about who that was. I wanted to know what the knockoff Transformer was that was walking behind
That was the Juggernaut.
It was the Juggernaut. Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt. With his Juggernaut mask on. Seriously, with him every time I've seen Lorenzo fight. Every time. Most of the times that I've even seen Lorenzo. I was glad we didn't try to bring him to the interview that I did with Lorenzo at ESPN Radio.
Oh, it looks like he was sleeping but talking to himself. Yeah, I know.
So, like, I've never seen him fight, but the highlights are just showing he doesn't necessarily look as ripped as he normally does. It's more likely because of the weight gain, correct?
Yeah, he's got to at least weigh 20 pounds more than what we've seen him normally fight at.
So I wouldn't be surprised. He's not going back down.
No, this is an all-in move, and he vacated the other two titles.
Right.
He is no longer the owner of the two belts that his wife brought out for his walkout. He's fighting for that heavyweight crown.
So he's already has 2 other weight classes that he has won championship in.
Yeah, light heavyweight, which was 185 pounds here, and 205 pounds cruiserweight, looks to become the first BKFC 3-division world champion.
I would love to see that in UFC, man, but that is probably a difficult road to
The
climb.
one that wants to is a light heavyweight champion.
Yes, sir.
We'll see if he can do it. He's got the punching power. If you've seen that machine, he topped Francis Ngannou's numbers.
You think so? I don't
Eddie Hall
think he can.
Eddie Hall just topped both of theirs.
Really?
Did you see that?
No.
Eddie Hall just topped.
Oh, did he? Strong man, Eddie Hall.
So it's possible.
But that's also a weird punch, probably. If you can't see that sucker coming,
Yeah, it's gonna hit you hard. The one that he knocked Hill out with was a weird punch.
It was like the wrong part of the hand. It was the bottom 2 knuckles and like an awkward hook, and it knocked all the equilibrium out of Jamal Hill.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
just like how everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna eat that punch and I'm gonna show what happened. Nobody else has been able to eat that punch. What makes you
Israel.
different?
hey, but he didn't.
But not
He
really.
almost went out
Yeah.
a few times.
Almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah. But
He wasn't eating it.
and he's lost to him in kickboxing.
Twice.
He wasn't eating it, all right.
Yeah,
The
it's so
only
crazy.
fans-
He's an amazing
only
fighter,
fans.
bro.
My
He's one of the
only
best.
fan.
He was eating them, but the wrong way.
But I mean, what does he have? 8 UFC fights? 9? What is it? 9.
Which ones?
Alex Tejeda.
He is something like
7,
8?
I think it's a...
8-1.
And just to
Well,
get,
it's 5 wins over former world champions.
And
I
just
know
to
that
get
for
to
sure.
that point
And then
is
Bruno
like-
Silva, so that's at least
That
6.
quickly.
And the loss to
It's unheard
Oksana.
of.
So that's at least 7 fights.
it is super unheard of. And then to come from a sport that he dominated in kickboxing.
To come and dominate the UFC.
And then to
I
come
think he's
up
6-2 in the UFC or 6-1.
In the
8.
career.
He's 8-1.
8-1 in the UFC?
8-1. Nine fights.
9 fights
2 belts
on.
already. Some people have 9 fights and never even had a.
She's gonna hit me.
You know, some people are 9-1 and have never even fought for the belts.
8 UFC fights, so 71 in UFC.
7-1 in the UFC.
Okay.
8 UFC fights, 2 titles, and wants to move up.
Just one more win than the Tony Ferguson win streak that never got a world title fight.
Right.
Which is stupid. They robbed him of that.
What about Beneil Dariush?
Him too.
Yeah, him too, and he's not getting any closer. That his prime passed him by, unfortunately.
So does giving him the Forrest Griffin Award make up for it? Is that our, hey, sorry, Beneil?
Is that what that is?
That's who's up. Hey, we get to talk to him about the Hall of Fame. I'm happy about that at International Fight Week.
Beneil Dariush is a hell of a nice dude. Who if he wasn't as nice as he is, might would have gotten that title shot.
Well, yeah, and that's what it is too. I feel like these guys that move up quickly are the ones that are selling the fights. They're the ones putting the asses in the seats and the pay-per-view sales up on the TV. You know, they move them up quicker. It seems like. Of course, they have to have they have to have the fight IQ. They have to be able to fight.
Here we go.
If they're not loudmouths, they can
Don't
pass
blink.
them by.
Don't blink.
Oh,
Wow.
capoeira.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Especially for the back, and big wide back. He was like really...
It would be awesome to see him win, but that's
He's a heavy
big.
favorite.
Is he?
Big time.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think either way, I think Ben Roswell beats either one of these guys.
Minus 323 is what he coming up, man.
Yeah, I'll take Big Ben in the next one, but right now, the Nick's moving well.
Oh,
Oof.
Ooh, you see him do a little slight stanky leg.
Nice little right hand, but just the size difference, like the natural 240 versus the I bulked up to 240.
the speed difference is even more apparent.
Well, until that left hand just landed from Terrell. Hunt didn't get out of the way of that one.
This is the Beatdown with Friends live for bare knuckle fighting, and we're inside Dapper Barber Parlor. I'm with CageMinds.com, the #1 site for combat sports
Nice
news
combination. Here we go.
and sports entertainment news, CombatCageMinds.com.
Vic Terrell going fast hands, going quick, trying to match speed with speed. Uppercut! Lorenzo Hunt just broke his left arm, fell down from that right uppercut.
And you were just talking about the Clyde guy where he stuck it down now and then
Dislocated elbow. This is awful.
Come on, show us. Rub some dirt on it. Rub some dirt on it. Rub some dirt on it. Touch your mouthpiece. We're good.
Put a little cross on it, you know.
Who was that? Aaron Pico? That he was over in the corner shoving his arm.
Oh yeah. Learn to go. And he knows it. He knows it. Oh yeah.
He put it all the way behind him.
Here it goes.
Big bent. Wrong way.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That looks like the Pride one in Japan. Oh man, and I spoke it into existence.
That was,
right, Whitney? I spoke it in.
Mark Coleman?
Spoke it in. No, it was what a Rua. I think it's
It was Mark Coleman.
that put us down.
It was Shogun Hua.
There we
Mark
go.
Coleman is the one that slammed him.
Oh, he put his arm like that. There we go.
You can see it.
It's disgusting. Huh? You want the microphone? What'd he say? What'd you say? Say it.
Has anybody seen Mike Epps?
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy, right? When he's talking about the singer.
I hate that he slaps the microphone.
Okay, well, that's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, when he's talking about the singer.
No.
No. Okay, well, he has a special where he's talking about a singer that he went to school with.
Uh-huh.
But he had an arm that was like this. And he would swing the arm around while he was singing his R&B songs. That's what his arm reminded me of.
These are only the thoughts and verbal speak from Dapper Barber Dom.
Yes.
You can come to Dapper Barber Parlor and see him about his talk.
Yes, come by whenever you guys like. 5836 Osuna Road, Northeast.
Man, there's been 3 injuries.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But that one was legit.
Yeah, that one was legit.
Yeah, that one
I don't know about the other two.
Oh, boy.
Hey, do you think the arm thing might have woke him up? He looked like he was falling back, like eyes behind his head type stuff. You know,
Could've, like I was telling you guys with the
Because the first thing
smelling
he
salt,
did too.
when you shut, remember I said
So you know what I mean? Like he was falling backwards. Like the guy hit flush.
Yeah.
And
So
you know this man does not hit soft.
no,
You know
he's a
what I'm
big
saying?
dude.
So like he hit flush. That when he fell back like that, that could have possibly woke his ass up from a knockout. You know what I mean? The pain from the arm.
My arm is dislocated. Get me out of this circle and get some damn meds to
Pop
me.
it in place, he'll be good.
Give him some meds.
So your thoughts on him at heavyweight with that little bit of time? You just
I don't think that he.
Michael Carlisle don't want to watch his arms just flop.
No.
I'm still not sure if we saw enough in that 2 minutes to really make a good assessment. He was fighting the best heavyweight in the division, but Terrell, I think he was wearing the punches pretty well from what Hunt was giving, so his power was not translating. I'd rather see him back at 205, but heavyweights go down in history being remembered, and 3 divisions is something. So if they're going to revisit this, I don't blame Lorenzo for wanting to try. I think he was hurt, but I think he would have continued during the 10 count. I think he could have continued from that one.
So you don't, you're in disagreement with Barbara Dom?
Yeah, I don't think he was out.
And waking back up?
He might have woke up from hitting the ground. I don't know if it's the elbow, but either way, you know.
You get that shock of adrenaline when an injury like that happens.
Yeah, so maybe. It might have.
I mean, he looked like pretty darn stiff, you know what I mean? That was a very flush uppercut, man. That hit directly where he needed to be, you know what I'm saying?
It's interesting. Yeah,
It was interesting.
I think you hit it right when you said go back to 205.
I'd rather see him at 205. He was even undersized, I felt, against Chris Camozzi in that fight.
He did not look like he was really hurting him, and he hit him clean. And he kind of like, okay, that's your best, you know. It'll be interesting.
Well, how long ago was his last 205 fight?
Was it here?
No, it wasn't here. I was in Denver for it. It was...
Oh, that's the fiasco where they brought...
BKFC 50.
They
Okay,
took
so
Cowboy out
how
there.
long though? How long did it take him to put on this weight? You know what I mean? Like John Jones took like what, an entire year or more.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying to get up
was also
to.
suspended too.
I get that,
yeah.
but the thing is to actually gain the weight to actually be up in that area to fight at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it took a while. And from what they said, it
It was 7 months ago in September.
So then,
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Worst
what it
way to
takes.
break your arm, like that, or like in an arm bar or something. And obviously you're not going to get that in BKFC, but
I think this.
like that.
I think this is.
I think this because it's all your weight.
Yeah,
This can change him completely.
you're
His
right because
power.
of the impact when you come down and break it. Whereas an arm bar or
Yeah.
something is probably
Arm bar, yeah,
Don't you think it's more tendon?
yeah, that it is.
Could be.
Because I whenever I get arm barred and I get a good one, I'll just get a real ball right here. And you can rub it out, it hurts like a son of a gun, but you can actually, and it's gross. Like it'll sit right here, you're like, ah.
So I was cage side in Houston when Andre Muniz broke Jacare Souza's arm. And that was the featured prelim or the fight before the featured prelim. There were a fair amount of people in the arena.
Did Jacare just keep going?
No. You could totally hear it though. I mean, it was just like, it echoed in the arena. I was like, oh,
Yep.
God.
Oh, that means he popped him right here.
Yeah. That was an arm bar. Jacare, though, let one of the Gracies break his arm so he could win a grappling match on point.
And
That's a bad MF right there.
That's why I said, did he keep going?
Yeah.
I've had broken feet, and she's like, you didn't break your foot. You didn't break your toe. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And they're swollen, and I just keep going. They're like, how do you do that? After a while, unfortunately, you get used to this pain. Like, you know what's going on. It's weird.
I broke a lot of bones, bro, and I've never got used to that damn pain.
No? Yeah, the fingers are usually like, those
That's
don't.
mainly what I broke: the fingers and nose.
Fingers, toes, nose
Oh,
hurt.
and my
Break a collarbone, bro. That'll be.
That fucking made me cry like a little bitch. I got thrown from my judo professor, Jesse Malou. Looks like Yoda, little dude like this. He threw me. I was probably in 7th grade. This dude hit me right into it. I wanted to knock the shit out of him. Couldn't do nothing.
Were you there? Or was that the time
I lose at one of the barbecues.
Okay.
Broke it.
Because I know me and
I
you have
threw-
gone at least once, maybe twice. I don't remember. Once.
Once for Adesanya Whitaker too. I would have remembered if Jacare got snapped in front of me.
It is the worst.
So I got the
feeling.
bar in now. It's like, oh,
I wanted to make sure if you were there. That was true. Oh, I was there. I bet I couldn't remember.
No, you by yourself you were. I was trying to remember as you were saying the story.
Yeah.
fucking sports and everything. I'm like, man, I'm lucky guy.
Damn, he's getting
What
bored.
about those two fights?
I didn't have no wife. Mama and dad.
Yeah, my poor wife had to.
And my dad said, fuck you, get up. Here we go. He put the Eye of the Tiger on. Oh, you came out.
You came out of your hole.
You remember my
Like a
card?
minus 475 favorite.
Right, huge favorite for Mike Perry.
How much do you think he's gonna whoop his ass? How much? How quickly do you think he's gonna whoop his ass? Second round. He's talking. It's amazing. We gotta get it when we can. He likes Mike Perry. Guys, thoughts on this fight? Predictions?
We're not getting any gentlemen's bets on Alves?
I think Elvis wins by Perry by slipping it forward.
Joking himself again on those still ropes.
Mike Perry by second round knockout. And if this isn't amazing, LA will never want bare knuckle back because these last two fights that were heavyweight spectaculars have just killed all the momentum.
I think they can save it. I think both men can. Again, this isn't GSP versus Elvis, which was horrendous. That was the most boring fight. I fell asleep during it. Like that was
Takedown.
Rode my cup on him. That was all GSP did the whole fight. It was so
The
boring.
worst fight
was
was
a leg
with,
hump in that fight.
dang it, now I can't remember his name. 2 heavyweights. They had like 6 punches throughout the whole
Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis.
There you go.
I could top that. Andre Arlovski and Tim Sylvia. I think it was like their third.
Oh, the third
That was
one.
fucking. Oh, it was dry and.
They were
boring.
throwing punches from like 3 feet away.
It was like stupid.
At least they were throwing punches. Ngannou and Derek Lewis didn't throw
They
punches.
were
Oh, but
dancing around.
it was.
We were live at Nama Yunus versus Esparza 2 when they ran around the octagon for 25 minutes.
I might have been live in person for the 2 worst fights in UFC history. That one and the Lewis and Ngannou fight.
Oh
Yeah.
Is
man,
that the one who was stumping on his feet?
But yeah, they were both terrible.
no.
I'd rather
She's
see
like,
the
it's
women running
legal.
around than the men, though. Huh?
Me too.
Yeah.
Jiggle jiggle.
But, you know, but the,
Hey, this dickhead ain't wearing a backwards tie this time or a bow tie.
It's like upside down. It
it
points
upside
to
down?
6.
Stupid fuck.
yeah, see, there it is.
Very dumbass.
Actually,
It's like
a
his
very
poker
short
chip
tie.
needed something to
very
try
short
to
tie.
top. It's like his tie is a story topper of itself.
You know what? What if the tie
That
is
is the worst
tied
jacket I've ever
and
seen.
the rest of the tie is hanging behind the back of the collar? He tied it like that.
That's what it looks
Maybe.
Who knows?
Because you don't got style.
Don't worry,
I
guess
do.
I made.
Mind your business back there. Drink a drink.
You know what I did like
sick all
watching
of a
this
sudden,
handle in
they
UFC.
Oh, for sure.
I just do he wasn't doing the ring
Totally
anymore.
anymore.
I'm
Like
like,
that.
He was beating the shit out of everybody.
He knocked out.
Right?
Remember that uppercut he did on Matt Hughes?
And his legs were gigantic back then. Yeah?
Yeah, I
And
didn't
he's
expect
always
it to
looked
be
like
that
this.
bad.
Yeah.
I bet he was born like that.
Well, that's,
Came out.
what's that Cuban? That old man Cuban, the one that wrestled.
Yo Romero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Romero?
Yo Romero.
Well, I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, he tries to say, he's like, I'm 40. I'm like, bitch, you're like 50. And you have a fused neck, and you're still fighting at this freaking elite level. Like, you're a psychopath.
His neck is
Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
says that's
metal.
why he's never been knocked out is because he thought.
No,
you know how most
shit, though.
You know how most guys you get there, he's like maybe his neck don't move. You listen to that podcast and he talks about.
Yeah, but that dude's different. That guy is just totally different. He's an old ass. All
I
Cubans
think
will
he
lie to
is.
you.
Chael Sonnen beat him in the 2004 Olympics for the
Yeah,
gold medal.
yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, he's an animal, dude.
He had to be at least 20.
No,
Chael Sonnen is a gold medalist.
He won 4-time NCAA titles and then he went and won the gold medal.
Wow.
I don't think Nate Diaz's hands would hold up. In
Aaron
that.
Brooks has a chance to do the same thing.
I'm not sure Nate Diaz's face will hold up in
David
this.
Taylor.
Yeah, you're right. It'll fall off.
Olympic.
Here we go. Toe the left.
Dave.
Look who's went forward. I heard about that when we were watching
Yeah,
this right here.
fast twitch where they move
Yeah, I'm going forward.
and moving.
David Taylor.
Is that the one that can go 5 times or no?
No, that's Carter Sirachi. But David Taylor is a returning Olympic and world gold medalist.
Ah.
So, like, I was watching a podcast with Henry Cejudo and Maru Usman, and they're like, if the #1 guy in the world can't even beat the guys in his own country, that means how much depth do we have?
Oh!
What a punch.
Oh,
He clipped him good too.
Yeah, that was solid.
It wasn't no bullshit where he got knocked down.
It looked like he went like
Yeah.
that and then went over. Boom.
Oh, it's gonna be over quick.
Yeah.
Alves is
Yeah,
done.
he's looking.
He's
back
already
around.
hurt. Oh yeah, that's it. It's over. He wobbled when he went to
Dang,
walk.
dude.
One big punch, and Mike Perry ends it.
He shouldn't have took a step.
He had to.
He had to, yeah. The ref was like, step towards me. And he went sideways.
Dang it, I missed it.
Y'all are talking about wrestling.
It's all good. I like that.
Real wrestling. No, he might. Or this guy, he sat down right next to me.
Oh, you're
I
thinking
know what he's
of
doing.
it.
Yeah, he's trying to play with me. Where's Ray? He told me he was coming.
Oh, it's 2 lefts.
Yep. Look like right to the body and overhand.
Oh, that was a
Did
left
that
to the
miss?
body. Oh, and a left.
Oh,
to the
that
chin.
left.
Yeah. And he tried to get up. At least he tried to get up. He didn't say, oh, I fell on my finger and it broke.
Left it open too.
He's smiling, look.
Wait, did it catch him like right behind the ear? Like
Right here,
the
like
drop?
neck,
Yeah.
How long did that last?
30 seconds, I'd say.
How long did it last?
It couldn't have been much more than 30 or 45 seconds. We'll find out here in a second.
Do you think they're going to put, is McGregor there?
No, McGregor can't be there. I believe he's in Ireland training for the upcoming fight.
Yeah, they went somewhere else to show.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because that was the whole fiasco in Colorado. They brought out Cowboy. They paid him $2 million to be there.
To challenge Perry.
And yeah.
And then at the last minute, Conor McGregor calls up his friends at Mac Life, and he's like, where are you guys? And they're like, we're in Colorado at the Eddie Alvarez-Chad Mendes fight. And he's like, I was going to watch that tonight. I'll go watch it with you guys. Jumps on a plane, and we're literally watching more police arrive and all the pandemonium of bone security happening from the media area as all the whispers break out, totally unplanned and freaking out that this dude flew in from Vegas, came to the event, and flew right back out.
And not only that,
From where?
From Vegas.
No, where did he fly from?
From Vegas to Denver.
Oh,
The fight was in Denver. He was in Vegas at that point and just decided to fly in there and flew right back out within, 2 hours.
And the kicker was they brought Cowboy out there to challenge Mike Perry. And they totally ignored Cowboy at that point. And I'm like, oh, his fucking home state.
Well, and some of that was an audible, because some of it was on BKFC for giving so much camera to Conor. Some of it also was on Perry, because Perry got the mic and looked around and looked right at Cowboy and basically was like, Conor!
Yeah, knowing they couldn't do it.
You know when you're going to do it.
When they called Cowboy back, Cowboy told them, I won't do it less for $10 million and hung up on them.
I don't blame him. I would have taken that $2 million. This is how you
did.
do me.
And basically, he even said, he goes, they paid me to go visit my grandma. Who's he talking to?
Everybody.
Anybody, the biggest fight he can get. That fight didn't even last long. Alves didn't do much, and Perry is still bleeding already. That's how violent this sport is.
Wow. Okay. Are you talking to the owner?
I think he was talking about Conor.
Oh.
What more can you do? Who is on your hit list now?
Why is the wrestler there? Darren Till.
Throw the hands. I would have asked for a face-off, but he would have told me to square up with myself, motherfucker. So shout out to
That sounded just like him.
we all out here trying to make it, and I'm fucking fighting for every step I take.
Darren Till?
Yeah, he's been wanting them, right? And did they offer him some good
$10
money?
million from there, and he...
Who was Darren Till? Did they offer him some good money?
The original opponents that they wanted for this fight were Darren Till 1, Anthony Pettis 2, and then the third backup final option was Thiago Alves.
Oh,
But
wow.
Thiago Alves was a former BKFC champion,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they knew whatever they offered him was a lot more than what they were paying him the first time.
Right.
Where with Pettis and Till, they wanted a payday. They wanted a junk load of money.
But I thought they offered Till a good chunk of money.
And
more than what they're getting in the UFC.
At least on the Feldman side, he came back and said, we met all of Till's demands, and then he said, you know what? I want to box first. I want to take a boxing match before I do a bare knuckle boxing match. Same thing Pettis said, and Pettis is going to go do the Chris Avila boxing match at the co-main
But
event.
he's already done a couple boxes. He beat Roy Jones, right?
Right. So why would he do this? I don't know, but yeah, that's where they've been at. Still wanting to get more prepared.
What do you think about Mike Tyson and Paul?
I try not to.
We're still gonna watch it.
Oh, that's
It's a
horrible.
car accident. What did happen? I think that old man's gonna put him to sleep.
I hope he does.
I've got no clue. I try not to think too hard about it because I don't think it deserves to be thought about that much.
It's a setup, obviously.
Yes, it's an obvious cash grab.
Sign the agreement, big boy. Sign the bid.
You know what would have made it super interesting for me? An actual sanctioned boxing match.
And I sent you what they were gonna do.
Yes.
I don't think they're adding the headgear.
No, they're not doing that here.
But
the thing is, was that like an
gloves.
actual sanctioned boxing match, then I would have been super interested in this fight.
Yeah.
You know, now it's an exhibition, and it's not even judged.
No.
It's not even going to be a judge. The only thing is if you win by TKO or KO.
You're talking about Tyson and Paul?
Yes.
Yeah.
How are they going to fill AT&T Stadium for an exit? And I get it, it's Tyson, it's Jake Paul. How are you filling AT&T Stadium with that?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering also. I get why they went there.
If it's a real fight, maybe, but for an exhibition?
Yeah.
I think, and it's crazy because they're putting Amanda Serrano.
Right, in the co-main,
Which is a legitimate fight rematch between her and that girl, I think, from England? And then
Ireland,
yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya announced that they're negotiating for one of his boxers to be on the card also in a legitimate boxing match. So is that their... Is he sniffing my butt or is he hanging out by you?
I don't know if that much legitimate and spectacle together, equals super event. If that is enticing.
Who in Texas is a draw?
That's all it is.
Who in Texas in boxing is a draw? That's who I would try and put on.
Oh man, Earl Spence was the last one, right? If he's coming back.
But Spence is having problems now. He's in court because he's not paying his cornerman.
Yeah.
Is there a Canelo brother that needs, or a Charlo brother that needs a quick payday?
Maybe.
They're both from Texas.
But even then, neither one of them are really a big draw anymore. They were when they beat Austin.
We know the 20 names in boxing that are big draws, and they're all drawn to Saudi Arabia right now.
That's the thing. What do you guys think about everything moving that way? Is that the new Vegas?
It's the international Vegas at least. Sure.
Oh, Saudi.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's crazy because you see, like, even this 5 versus 5 matchroom versus, and now all of a sudden Deontay Wilder's, what is his name?
Joshua?
Anthony Joshua's manager. Oh, yeah, he's part with them. He's with them now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
That's a little bit different.
It's like, where did you come from? Big Baby Miller is going to be fighting on the undercard of Tyson also against Andy Ruiz.
Oh, they're going to have that on the Tyson Fury card? Okay.
No, of Mike Tyson and...
Oh, okay.
So what they're doing is they're putting that one in LA. So they're going to close circuit it in AT&T Stadium, hang out, BS around, and then they're gonna move them that way.
Wow.
It's wild. It's
So
like,
what's
what
that,
do you do?
WrestleMania 3 or something? 2?
Yeah, WrestleMania 2 was the 3 different locations.
Who is Tyson Fury fighting next?
Should be Usyk, right? They should still be working towards actually making that fight happen.
Yeah. Oh, the Saudis pretty much own both of them. Make the money and everything like that. They're giving.
Well, I just think about it though too. It's like, okay, I think Tyson is going to take this just a tad bit more serious than fighting Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, he should. Especially with what just happened, you know what I mean? And you see Ngannou get laid out by Anthony Joshua.
It makes Tyson look bad.
Yeah. Guys, let's wrap up this show. Give us your final thoughts. Let's start with you, Mike Carlisle.
I thought it was a really entertaining card. Unfortunately, we had some injuries later in the card. We said that Mike Perry needed to do something exciting to save it. It was a quick finish, but it was exciting. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Micah?
Mike Perry is hugely successful, and you don't usually see that from a UFC castaway. He's found his niche, he's found his audience, and definitely his sport, and hopefully we can see something better from the heavyweight division in the next title fight.
Give us your thoughts on the event.
Oh, I really enjoyed the Angulo fight.
Yeah.
You know.
The hair pulling and whatnot.
Right.
That was kind of weird for me. The ref did.
So do these guys give bonuses for like fight of the night and stuff like
That'd
that?
be a Micah question.
There are fight of the night, performance of the night, knockout of the night bonuses. Not sure how big those bonuses are. They just say that there are bonuses.
Yeah. I think the best fight too was, how do you say his name, man?
Angulo.
Angulo?
Angulo.
Angulo. That was a cool fight, man, right there.
Yeah.
You know, the guy was getting his hair pulled, he was getting beat up in the clinch, and he decided, okay, let me pop this guy in the mouth and knock him out. You know, that was cool.
It was interesting.
And you know, what happened with Mike Perry right there, not necessarily surprising. You know, I thought that he was going to win the fight, and he did. In spectacular fashion, I guess we could say.
Yeah. Interesting. Micah, what were the 3 choices for Mike Perry again?
Going into tonight,
Yeah.
it was Darren Till, Anthony Pettis, and Thiago Alves.
I don't think Anthony Pettis has a shot in that either.
I don't either.
No.
No.
Not even a little bit.
But it's a name.
Yeah, so I was going to say it's
Biggest name of the 3.
It's a name. It'll draw, especially, and they're going to play up the fact that he beat Roy Jones in that boxing match, which, I don't know. BKFC, Knuckle Mania. It was a good, entertaining card. I think Ben Rothwell is the new heavyweight champion if he does fight for the title next.
I don't know.
That 40-pound weight advantage against Mick Terrell is going to mean something.
Yeah,
I agree.
And his toughness, his grit, his old schoolness of walking, getting punched.
I just feel like he doesn't move that
You
well.
don't need to.
But he
can
hits
take
harder.
punches. Yeah, and he hits hard. And it'll take
Terrell
him-
does not hit that hard compared to Rothwell from what I've seen, how their opponents have reacted to the
I would like
shots.
to see it.
I hopefully they make it happen and pretty soon. Actually,
Both had short nights, so hopefully
Yeah.
sooner than later.
Awesome. Well, guys, this is the Beatdown with Friends live event podcast from Dapper Barber Parlor.
Yes, sir.
Tongue tied. We got CageMinds.com, Michael Frankel, Michael Carlisle. Thank you guys for joining us. And we have Zia Shirts as our new sponsor. Monaco.
No,
Oh,
Marcos.
I'm sorry, Marcos. Sorry, I was thinking about the dog. Let us know real quick about your business. Small engines.
I forgot the name of what I do.
Forgot about what he does.
Hit me up at Marcos' Small Engine Repair. I know you guys are going out there probably trying to start your lawnmower. Probably didn't start. Hit me up. We got a quick turnaround. You can find me on Facebook at Marcos Small Engine Repair or at 505-450